1, go!
The search for America's top lumberjack starts here. 16 of the United States elite choppers and sawyers begin their journey, each hoping to be crowned the best in the U.S. They battle it out across 3 rounds with 6 disciplines, 3 chopping, 3 sawing. The finals of the STIHL TIMBERSPORTS Men's U.S. Championship start now.
This is what we call hardcore blue-collar toughness.
Hello and welcome. Welcome to everyone watching around the world. Welcome to everyone here at German Fest in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. The time has come for the final championship of this special week. The U.S. Men's Championship, STIHL TIMBERSPORTS. The best in the business are here, and I'd like to introduce the man who's going to lead us through the whole thing here. A true legend of the sport. So many records, so many championships here and around the world. A mentor to many, many, and an unforgettable voice of the sport. Let's bring him out here, the one, the only, Super Dave Jewett.
Hey, oh man, I can't believe I have voice. I'm blanking out right now. This is nuts, people. This has been going on since Friday. By the way, my name is Super Dave Jewett. I competed in timber sports, the original extreme sport, for 27 years, and STIHL loved that. Hold that up all day. Yeah, Super Dave's finally gotten some love in the crowd. It started Friday. STIHL kicked it up more extreme than ever with a hot sauce showdown. Big round of applause for Josh Wilson, who won the hot sauce showdown, cutting 3 18-inch discs in 4.8 seconds. Today, you may see that all over again. At the end, we will be doing 3 chopping events, 3 sawing events. The winner overall will represent the United States in Stuttgart, Germany, the end of October. Plus, we'll be picking a United States team to represent the U.S. in Stuttgart, joining 32 countries total. I got a lot of calling to do today. Not to mention, one more thing. Martha King won the women's division yesterday, taking home her fourth national title, tied with Erin Lavoie. Boy, there could be a tiebreaker next year. I got a lot of calling to do. I've got some help. One of the best timber sports announcers with timber in his voice. Let's bring this guy out. This is Dave Johns.
What is up, Milwaukee? How's everybody doing out there today? The t-shirts are loaded. We're ready to go. Who wants one of these bad boys? I said, who wants one of these? Let's hear it. Oh, yeah, that is tuned up. That is the back deck, Dave Jewett. Huge shout out to our sponsors here today, the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation, John Deere, and of course, STIHL. Dave, let's kick this thing off, buddy.
16 athletes represented, the ones to watch, though, Dave. I think we're going to get our answer from the 2 guys. Center stage, Kevin and Tommy. Take it away, boys.
Oh, thank you, Dave. And Kevin Holtz, I'm not afraid to say it. These are the 16 best choppers and sawyers in America today. We got favorites among them. We got some others who may make their big move, their big career jump today. Why don't you tell us the ones to watch?
Yeah, and there's a lot of folks that are watching, those top-tier athletes, the folks that already have multiple championships under their belts, but there are so many athletes that are just ready to break through. They're ready to crack into the top, join those elite names. And on top of that, like, I look at some of the athletes that are ready to just break through in individual events and rob some of those STIHL points and just be an absolute disruptor. One of the guys that is yet to be at the top of the podium that so needs to get to that top of the podium is Maddie Slingerland. We've watched him just slay with his hot saw this year. He seems like he's tuned up and in the right headspace. One guy that's been there so many times, 7 championships under his belt, Matt Koger. He had a really tough go, some hard sledding in the hot saw showdown on Friday, but that is only one of our disciplines, and he's taken lessons from that, and he's going to advance it here tonight to the men's championships. The big man from Diana, West Virginia, multi-generational competitor. His sister, Alicia Lentz, competing here yesterday in the women's championship. That is Jason Lentz, an extremely powerful chopper, and we've seen great stuff out of him. You know, one guy, though, that I got to just tip my hat to my old buddy from Vermont, Calvin Willard. Calvin has been out there for many years now. He has a beautiful standing block chop. I don't think he's getting enough credit. He battled his way in through Cherry Valley and just put on an absolute clinic. Another guy that also battled his way in through Cherry Valley is Ben Carlson. Don't call him a rookie. He is here to play and is here to disrupt the system. We've got a tremendous field of athletes, and of course, everybody is watching Nate Hodges. Hodges literally imploded in the hot saw event on Friday. His saw grenaded. He got it put back together, came out with a respectable finish in the end. But again, those lessons learned on Friday tie into this weekend. He is our reigning champion. We're going to look to see how he defends this year.
All right, 16, the best in the business, geared up and ready to go. Let's meet him right now as we turn it back over to Dave and Dave.
Thanks, Tommy. 16 out back, ready to go. So let's bring him out. We saw him 2 years ago. We missed him last year. He's back from Granby, Connecticut. Give it up for Ben Carlson.
From Marquand, Missouri, let's hear it for Aaron Hovis.
And the man Kevin was just talking about from Barnett, Vermont, this is Calvin Willard.
Chopped his way in at the Cherry Valley Outdoor Games. Glad to have him back on the stage here in Milwaukee. From Stratford, New Hampshire, let's hear it for Brad Jones.
All the way from Seymour, Tennessee, one of the best springboard cutters in the world, this is Tristan Van Beek.
From Sheboygan, Michigan, let's hear it for Cody Robarge.
Our Friday Hot Sauce Showdown champion. From Morgantown, West Virginia, massive round of applause for Josh Wilson.
From Springville, New York, the big man, Mark Boquin.
As you say, Dave, a storm is a brewing. From Newville, Pennsylvania, this is Alex Storm.
Hometown favorite here out of Hayward, Wisconsin. Let's hear it for Cassidy Shear.
This guy has won multiple national titles. From Diana, West Virginia, fourth generation lumberjack athlete, Jason Alentz.
From Matthews, North Carolina, one of the nicest guys out there, Ben Nicely.
From Walpole, New Hampshire, this is Trevor Beaudry.
From Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, let's hear it for Maddie Slingerland.
Your 8th-time national champion, looking for 9. From Grafton, West Virginia, give it up for Matt Koger.
All right, here he comes, wheeling in the John Deere Gator. 2-time national champion, world record holder in the hot saw at 4.27 seconds. Here is the man out of North Fork, California. Let's hear it for Nate Hodges. I'd like to also welcome our judges to the stage, Rich Hallett and Chris Alba.
At this point, ladies and gentlemen, please rise if you are able. Remove your hats for a moment of silence, followed by our national anthem. Today, we remember Ben Bullseye Whalen and the lasting impact he made on the lumberjack community. His strength, dedication, and love for the sport inspired everyone around him. We extend our deepest condolences to his family and friends. Ben's spirit and legacy will continue to live on through our timber sports world. Please join us in a moment of silence as we honor Ben's memory.
Thank you. Please remain standing as we welcome Joe Palvermacher from the Menominee Falls Fire Chief. He's the fire chief out there for the singing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched, we're so gallantly streaming. And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Underhand chop. In the past, the underhand chop technique was used to split logs. Standing on a horizontally anchored block, the athletes cut through a 32-centimeter log. The block has to be worked from both sides.
Well, here we are, ready to go. There's Milwaukee. There's German Fest right there. Big day, final day of German Fest, and our first of 6 disciplines. One of the chopping ones, it's the underhand chop. We're going to have 8 heats played out by our 16 athletes here. After we get through with our first 2 disciplines, we'll have to lose 8 of those athletes and proceed on.
Springboard, and then down to 6 in the hot saw.
Here we go. Heat 1 in the underhand chop. Ben Carlson and Calvin Willard.
Ben Carlson on the left. Ben Carlson's from Granby, Connecticut. Just missed qualifying for the finals last year by a spot. But he showed up here. He had a little tune-up a couple of days ago, and he showed Kevin that he's here for business.
Yeah, I got to watch Ben at the Cherry Valley qualifier a month or so ago, and he's maturing. He's still a kid in my head, but he's maturing, and his head's coming around to a good space.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1. Go!
He's going up against Calvin Willard on stand number 2. We talked about Calvin Willard and our ones to watch. He's made the finals 3 times. He's represented our country in international championships as well.
And I always love watching Calvin chop. He and I went head-to-head many times over the years, and he is still out there swinging it and doing it so well. He is a very clean, consistent cutter, and he's doing a pretty good job here. A little bit of stair-stepping in the underhand. He goes back to punch it 1-1 there in the bottom. He's looking to drive. Few fibers at the bottom, but a real classic finish for Calvin Willard. Not his best time. He's hanging around the 28-second mark there, but it'll get him some steel overall points.
Both cuts are good.
Well, Calvin Willard taking this one, and you said not his best time, but certainly looks solid there.
Yeah, no, a good, clean, safe cut for Calvin Willard. You see trouble down the line there for Ben Carlson as the axe hangs a little bit. There it is again on the chip side for him. I think he's just hooking the heel of that axe a little bit, or maybe that axe just isn't liking the block. These guys do have a small opportunity to test axes backstage on some wood that should be similar to what they're cutting out here, but go happens. Blocks may not be just the same. The axe may not have felt like you thought it would after testing, so a free axe is always to your advantage.
Calvin Willard official time of 27.91. Ben Carlson about 3.5 seconds back with a 31.46. So he won is in the books. We have 7 more heats to go in the underhand chop. We take a look at the big crowd there today. A lot of attractions here. A lot to see and do and consume, and just a great tradition here in Wisconsin. Wisconsin, where lumberjack sports are a tradition as well.
Keep going. I'm telling you, we're going to turn it up. We're going to turn it up. Where's it got to go? Has it got to go over there? I love the Super Dave sign. I'm loving the Super Dave sign. But hold on, this side a little louder. All right, next heat, Dave, call him up. Heat number 2 in the underhand chop. This is Aaron Hovis versus Brad Jones. Brad Jones got it.
Ready to go with heat number 2 now. Aaron Hovis all the way up from Marquand, Missouri here. Aaron Hovis appearing in these championships, and he's already had a good event so far this year. A few weeks we were in Virginia Beach, Virginia. He hit the medal stand, bronze medal winner there at the Hot Sauce Showdown. Going up against Brad Jones. Brad Jones just missed making it to the finals last year by just a few spots, but he is here, ready to go and see what the day will bring. Come out of Stratford, New Hampshire.
Well, I mentioned this in the...
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
I mentioned this in the Hot Sauce Showdown. Brad Jones, his theme is, I'm happy to be here. He did not qualify for the series. He was 1 slot out of qualifying for this year. Grant Foreman, unfortunately, with a neck injury, a disc issue. I'm not a doctor, but he's got a problem. He was humble enough to say, you know, I'm not going to be at 100%. He stepped down. Brad Jones is in. Brad Jones is cutting. Wow. 22:53. Likely we'll see that fade back a little bit, a slightly faster time. That's a personal best for Brad Jones. I tell you what, Tommy, when you got nothing to lose, you got everything to gain, just leave it on the stage.
Absolutely freewheeling it here for sure all day long. He hopes. So Brad Jones showing up big time, taking over the lead. Oh, there's a flag, yellow flag.
So there is not much that can go wrong in underhand chop except for one thing, and I think I know what it is based on where our head judges are looking. And now Super Dave Jewett is going in to have a peek. You cannot cut your foothold You cannot cut through that area. Theoretically, if you put a really big foothold in and then chopped across it, you would not be cutting so much wood. In this case, though, it's a tiny little corner. Did it have any actual impact on his performance? No.
Okay, we were checking to see if there was a cut foothold on stand 1. Both cuts are good.
So Aaron Hovis, as surprised as anyone, looks up. I think the way I saw them gesturing, they almost acted or gestured like that piece of wood broke away and he hadn't actually cut into it. I'm looking to see it's still there in that shot. So I'm not sure where exactly it breaks out. But it's on the backside of the log. It'd be down by his left big toe right now. And he gets around to the backside. The judges decided it's good enough. And they're not easy on the judging. Again, over to Brad Jones. Mr. I'm just happy to be here. Brought some gur out to this chop. And into the backside, a small hesitation. There you see that hang up. Angle wasn't quite right. He was leaned a little bit heavy on his left foot and just didn't present the axe well. He then gets settled in after that turn, is now doing a beautiful job slicing fibers, disassembling this underhand chop. Finishes very cleanly. Probably 2. I thought he was going to have to go back and one that. 2 hits sooner than I expected.
Getting the best time of a 22.23 does Brad Jones there to take over the lead. And well, false alarm for Aaron Hovis. He gets to keep his second place time of 24.65.
This is Brad Jones.
He wasn't even supposed to be here. He's showing up in a mood. So I love the attitude.
All right, so here we go. We got our fan cam up on the board right now. Show your STIHL Timber Sports fandom around the world, streaming globally right now. Everybody's tuned in, watching their favorite U.S. athletes. Show them you're out there in the crowd or watching at home. There we go. There's some fans having some fun out there. I know, great crowd here at German Fest again this year. I have not seen any beers. Do they not serve beer on Sunday here, Dave? They see, oh, there's some out there. There's some. Oh, there's Ben Nicely's little boy out there cheering him on, loving it. There's the production crew. All right, next heat coming to the stage now in the underhand chop. From Seymour, Tennessee, on position 1, Tristan Van Beek. On position 2, from Sheboygan, Michigan, Dakota Robarge.
Well, Tristan Van Beek, the Tennessee Volunteer, 11th place, made the finals last year and finished up 11th, I think, in his first trip to the finals. He's made a lot of noise in the rookie championships a few years back. Made the quarterfinals in our Hot Sauce Showdown earlier this week as well. Going up against Dakota Robarge, famous Timber Sports family. His dad, Wally Robarge, coming originally from the Finger Lakes area. You're part of the country, Kevin, but now living, performing, working in Michigan, Sheboygan, Michigan.
Yeah, we still play them though, Tommy. I'm putting on my taxes.
To your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah, some of the Robarge clan rolled into town and surprised Dakota this morning. They didn't know he was going to be here. So that's awesome to have the Robarge family here cheering on Dakota as he lays into this underhand chop. Van Beek ahead, about 2 hits. There you see again in the turn. It's so hard to make a quick turn and set up your body right and open cleanly. Robarge has a small face going, but he's driving off Dakota Robarge. I was about to say he may end up pinched, but in the end he bests Van Beek 22-46. A nice cut for Dakota Robarge. He had me duped on that, Tommy. That backside of that log was a very small face. Sometimes that is intentional by the chopper. They run through the front side of the log. They know they've got a good soft block. They know they're cutting it well, and they will shrink down that backside. It releases the chips a little quicker, gets them to the center faster. Other times it's unintentional with disastrous consequences.
Both cuts are good.
We're going to get a quick interview with Dakota Robarge. We got Dakota Robarge coming up here, bud. We're going to give you your own mic. Your family showed up today. You got your brother and your dad rolled in. What was the discussion coming off the stage right there between you and Tristan?
We were just talking about how hard the blocks were. They're a little firmer today. But I got to say thanks to my dad and my brother for coming out. That means a lot to me.
When you know the wood is firm, you bring axe boxes out, 1 or 2 axe boxes at $650 per axe. How do you choose? There's a little bit of testing and a little bit of guessing right before you go.
Yeah, I was just going off the sound and then a little bit of if it's sticky or not, if it's free. That's the axe I was going to choose.
Thanks, Dakota. We'll let you get ready for the next event. Big round of applause. Dave, you get a time on row barge here? Is Billy Jones, Brad Jones still hanging in? I think Jones.
Well, here's another look down the line with Tristan Van Beek in the background, Dakota Robarge in the near ground. So here in that interview with Dakota Robarge, it kind of threw it in my face. The wood is not soft. The wood is firm. So that was an unintentional narrowing of the backside of that face. He came close to doglegging himself, but he put the hits in. You can see that axe bouncing back a little bit, nice and free. And he manages to punch through the bottom. Nice, clean finish for Dakota Robarge.
Yeah, 22.23, the official time for Dakota Robarge. Puts him up there in second place, tucked in under Brad Jones. Aaron Hovis and Tristan Van Beek in fourth place. His time officially in that heat was a 26.26.
All right, Heat 4 to the stage. Out of Morgantown, West Virginia, your hot sauce showdown champion from Friday night. Let's hear it for Josh Wilson. On position 2 from Springville, New York, Mark Boquin.
It's been a magic week already for Josh Wilson. Josh Wilson came in, maybe not the favorite in the hot saw showdown, but he went through it. He cut just a little over 5 in the first, and in 3 consecutive cuts below 5 seconds. It was unbelievable. A great, great victory. Whole crowd pulling for him. Going up against the big man, Mark Boquin from New York.
Yeah, Josh Wilson was a cornered honey badger on Friday night. I don't think anybody had him. You know, we knew he'd do well. He's built the saw himself. He's a great operator. But I don't think anybody had him on their dance card as gold medalist in that. What an awesome night for him and the whole Wilson family. But I tell you what, it's a new day with a whole series of new disciplines, and he's looking to be one of the half of the field that gets to advance to round 2. Mark Boquin, massive driving blows into the backside of this log. He's got it wide open. Josh Wilson, though, he is a speed cutter. He takes a book or page from the book of Arden Coger Jr. and just pistons the hits into the log. Mark Boquin, a 21-1-3. Look for Boquin in the single buck to continue dominance, but he says, I'm an underhand man now.
Both cuts are good.
Mark Boquin here in the near ground, just putting that massive chassis to work. Watch him into the backside of this log. Nearly gets to that foothold, but follows one hit right after the other and draws beautiful opening chips. I can't emphasize it enough. I probably said it 1,000 times in my career in this position, but this has to be a disassembly of these blocks, not just a random spray pattern. And that opening chip on the backside that just fell out to the stage was a great indication.
Mark Boquin looking strong as ever and taking over the lead halfway through this underhand chop here at the time of 21.84. Josh Wilson, maybe not the result he wanted, 25.97. He stands in 5th.
To 4th. All right, folks, take out those phones. You can play along with us up here. You're going to scan and vote. This will be a question about Alex Storm up on the board right now. And if you get these questions right, you can take those answers back to the STIHL trailer and get yourself one of these awesome STIHL chainsaw hats up here celebrating 100 years of STIHL equipment. So there we go. Alex Storm spends time in the classroom when he's not competing. What does he teach? Engineering, forestry, agriculture, or sports science? It's a great question. He thinks he's an expert in everything. There it is, forestry. Forestry. If you got that right, you can head on over to the STIHL trailer, grab yourself one of these awesome chainsaw hats celebrating 100 years of STIHL equipment.
Heat number 5 in the underhand chop, Alex Storm, and our local boy from Hayward, Wisconsin, Cassidy Shear.
Stand number 1 is going to be Alex Storm from Penn State, Monte Alto, and Newville, Pennsylvania. 9th place in these championships last year. He was 5th in our showdown earlier this week, going up against a true legendary name in Wisconsin lumberjack sports, Cassidy Shear. Lives in Minnesota now, but very much connected to Wisconsin, Hayward, and all of that. Former U.S. champion in 2019, also got the silver at the World Championships that year.
And I feel like Cassidy Shear is due. Like, it's about time. He just rose to the top.
Athletes ready.
A little quiet.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
And this is a good place for him to get started. He also, much like Josh Wilson, has a pretty fast swing speed, but he's started to extend that swing. That makes him exceptionally powerful in this and dangerous in this event where he has both the speed and the power. Alex Storm moving that axe. He's looking to drive. Storm going to the bottom. He does have it done. 19.79 for Alex Storm. I tell you what, these guys are scaring me driving the bottoms of these logs. There's a lot of cuttable wood there, and they know what they're doing. They're driving through a tremendous amount of timber. It doesn't look like it's ready to go, but the penetration on these axes is just so impressive now.
Both cuts are good.
Well, I mentioned that Cassidy Shear is, to my mind, due for another go at the podium. It's been a few years, and he's got all the talent to do it. But in this case, it was Alex Storm. There you get a little bit of a hit at the front side of his log. Very nice accuracy. That axe is chasing each hit one right after the other. That just saves so much energy instead of the chops where you see the stepped in or the stair step faces. So great accuracy from Alex Storm. Punches off the bottom. A little Dave Jewett-esque fist pump at the end. Tell you what, we've seen the motivation with Alex Storm in the Hot Sauce Showdown on Friday night. If he can carry that intensity through at least the majority of the events here today, boy, he's going to be a contender.
First to go under 20 seconds. Personal best 19.46 puts Alex Storm on top of that right now. Cassidy Shear with a 22.31. That's 2.5 seconds back, and he is in 5th.
Who hasn't gotten one of these yet this weekend? I don't know. Is there Red Bull out there? Do we have beers flowing? Do you guys got any energy? Let's hear it. Oh, yeah, we're turning it up. We're turning it up. I think this is one of the smaller ones. Who wants one of the smaller ones? There we go. There we go. One more? You want one more? All right, here we go. We want to go to the back? Who wants one in the back? Oh, yeah. We got some distance on that one, baby. Here we go. Next heat, Dave.
Heat 6 in the underhand chop. Chasing 19.46. Give it up for Jason Lentz and our returning national champion overall, Nate Hodges.
Well, this one should be a little furious right here. We've got our reigning champ going up against a two-time world champion, two-time U.S. champion, Jason Lentz. Of course, our defending champion, Nate Hodges, is going to be his opponent over there on stand number 2. This shouldn't take a long time.
No, and I'm playing this out like I'm kind of making a little mental image of what this event is going to look like, or this heat is going to look like for these two individuals. Both exceptionally powerful choppers. Jason Lentz significantly taller than Hodges, but Hodges was swing speed for days.
Ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
Nate Hodges has been modifying his swing, and he sometimes alternates back and forth between kind of a club-handed swing and a slide-handed swing. You saw him club a couple times in opening and then goes into a slide. Look at the slope on both of these guys. Boy, we got a race, Tommy. Whoa. Nate Hodges is really offset between his two faces there, I was just going to say, and that's going to make it hard for him to break through that wood. You can see, as you look down on top of those two blocks, how his two faces are just at opposite ends of the log, and that sets up a lot of wood grain that he has to break at the end. Jason Lentz, his block broke so cleanly, Hodges had to really punch that thing. Yeah, you can see that wall, that face of wood right there in the middle for Hodges.
Both cuts are good.
So we're going to grab Jason right now. Not as crazy as the hot sub, buddy. We're going to keep you here. Jason, I know you were training. I saw you cut a 14-inch log the other day. You put about 8 hits in the back of it. It's called an S3. It's a 9-inch wide axe. Did you use that today, or did you go with a lighter axe to keep up with the speed?
You have to zoom in on the screen to see that day, but yeah, I used it.
It didn't look like it. You throw that thing around like it's just an average 7.5-inch wide blade. What is the advantage of a 9? This is a size. We used to chop back in the day. 6.5 is when they went to a 7-inch axe. I said they're too big. Then they went to 8-inch axes. They're way too big. You got a guy like this, a 9-inch wide blade. What is the advantage?
Well, it kind of covers up your mistakes, Dave, but you can span the axe better, let more hang out the top and out the bottom, cover your wood better, and hopefully get a little more penetration.
You left massive chips on the deck. You showed up with one on your shoulder. I love it, buddy. Keep it going.
Thanks.
With just an absolute snow shovel of an axe going into that block and doing it pretty darn clean, too. Lining up those hits, chasing one right after the other. Excellent placement in the turn. It's so hard to get your feet and head sorted and settled as you spin around on top of that piece of wood. Driving down 1, 2, 3, 4, punching at the bottom. And there you see Hodges in the background. He takes about 2 extra driving blows to break that extra grain that he left by having those faces offset a little bit too much, in my opinion.
Well, Jason Lentz's time now is official. It's a 19.34. That's about 1/10 of a second faster than Alexander Storm, who remains in second place right there. And Nate Hodges' time of 21.66 has him in third. Mark Boquin, fourth place right now. Very close, 21.84.
Heat 7 coming out now from Matthews, North Carolina. On position 1, Ben Nicely. And on position 2, from Walpole, New Hampshire, let's hear it for Trevor Beaudry.
There's Ben Nicely. Ben Nicely had a good year last year. Finished 5th place in these U.S. championships. 5th place in the national trophy at 22 and 25. Did not make the quarters in our shootout. But he's going up against Trevor Beaudry. Trevor Beaudry been coming on strong the last few years. The school teacher from New Hampshire.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
Love watching the social media of a lot of these competitors and their training videos. Trevor Beaudry especially posts a lot of videos of him just cutting hardwood out in the shed. Look at the penetration of the axe from Beaudry. Ben Nicely, a massive wide open face, sliding action, but the axe is bouncing out a little bit. Is Ben Nicely going to have, no, I was going to say, is he going to have enough to drive it off ahead of Beaudry? Beaudry just throwing a massive axe and burying it to the handle. 19.67 showing is the unofficial time for Beaudry. They'll do a video review of that. It looks maybe like that May stick. Boy, he's right there with Jason Lentz at the top of the heap.
Both cuts are good.
3/100ths of a second in second place right now. That is a major accomplishment for Trevor Beaudry in the first of 6 disciplines, assuming he makes it and advances through all 3 rounds. Beaudry just putting in a really clean chop, not really shifting his body position much between chip and driving blows, and gets that block broken off about one hit ahead of Ben Nicely.
Trevor Beaudry looks a little bigger every year as he shows up here, and he's getting some better results as well, that is for sure. Tucks into second place right behind Jason Lynch, just almost a tie right there. Ben Nicely becoming part of the conversation as well. He's good for fourth place with a 20.18. That pushes down Hodges and Beauquin. A little bit hazy today, but just very, very nice out here on Lake Michigan. All the sparkling waters and different ways to get around this place. Big boats, little boats, and a whole bunch of fun, people having fun on a summer Sunday at German Fest.
I'll tell you what, Tommy, I'm having fun.
Me too. Absolutely.
After last night, after the women's championships, I'm hyper-focused on points today.
Of the men's underhand chop on position 1 from Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, fan favorite, Maddie Slingerland. On position 2, your 7-time STIHL Timbersports Series national champion, Matt Koger.
Well, here we go, our top 2 qualifiers in the underhand chop. That is Matt Slingerland right here. He's come so close so many times. He won our Hot Saw Showdown earlier this summer over in Virginia Beach, Virginia. And Matt Koger, what can you say, 7 U.S. championships. Looking for an 8th here. He'll be a hard one to stop.
Ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, and not a good start for Maddie Slingerland as that axe just buries in and hangs for him. Matt Koger not waiting around into the backside at around the 9-second mark. Matt Koger putting up a blistering pace. Maddie Slingerland has got to get the bottom one out of that block. Matt Koger, a 16.49, and again hangs and sticks for Maddie Slingerland as he drives off around 23 seconds. Boy, that axe and block were just not happy with each other. Opening blow drives in and just hung so hard with an additional hang in the backside. Each one of those hangs can cost you half to a full second.
Both cuts are good.
Well, Tommy, back in my day as a chopper, axe recovery was my Achilles heel, and it just crushed me when I had an axe hang up like that. I can totally sympathize with Maddie Slingerland. There you see also, I didn't notice that from Matt Koger, a bit of a hang up there as well. It is just so debilitating. It throws you off your rhythm, and at least for me, it was so hard to get that rhythm back and pick my pace back up. Great clean cut from Matt Koger. He is grabbing every point he can grab as early as possible, and the lesson again from last night, the women's championship, in the event of a tie, we break ties with the total elapsed time for all disciplines. It's not enough just to win the event, but there it is, 3 seconds over Jason Lentz. That could play out if these guys end up in the tie for the podium.
Absolutely. Boy, he was looking automatic out there, that time of 16.21. The underhand chop is complete right now. Again, we have 5 more disciplines on the way. Coming up, we're going from chopping to sawing. The stock saw is coming up right after we step away. Take a quick break here in Milwaukee at the championships.
Some days, everything goes your way. This is not one of those days.
Look at that.
Good thing the Gator XUV can navigate rugged terrain and haul whatever the day demands.
Pull me out!
Because when work happens, you've got a Gator for that. The Gator XUV, built for every kind of workday.
The power's out!
Learn more at an authorized John Deere dealer.
Conserving moments like this. The Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation is building a strong future for all big game. 1 square mile a day. That's our mission. More access, healthier habitats. Your support will help shape what's next.
Smell that? Spring. Things out here have gotten a little too comfortable. It's time to remind these edges, hedges, and blades just who pays the bills around here. It's time to run it. Run it until the grass becomes a lawn, until the hedges duck and cover. Then, run it again.
Beautiful midsummer afternoon here in the great state of Wisconsin, where German culture is very, very important, especially here in the area of Milwaukee. And German Fest, for decade after decade, has been celebrating everything that goes along with that. Great, terrific way to spend some time. Everybody in town probably tries to make it out here at least for a little while during the course of this special weekend. Also big in the state of Wisconsin, lumberjack sports, that is for sure. We have been so lucky to have so many of our championships here over the last decade. It's really a pleasure every time we get to come in here. We got sawing coming up for you right now. The stock saw is a level saw playing field, and here we go.
Two wooden discs, so-called cookies, within a 10-centimeter mark. One downward and one upward. The attempt is only valid when both discs have been cut off completely and within the marks.
Just about getting ready to start here with our second of 6 disciplines here.
All right, stock saw, Dave. 661 steel chainsaw, 90 cc's of awesomeness. The great equalizer in Timber Sports. Here we go. Who do we got in heat number 1, Dave?
This is Tristan Van Beek and Calvin Willard.
Heat number 1, that's Tristan Van Beek of Tennessee in the foreground. Tristan Van Beek's personal best is a 15.48 going up against Calvin Willard. Both these guys had a little bit of, well, probably not their optimal performances in our first discipline of the day, the underhand chop. They'll be looking to make up a little bit of ground here. It's hard to do, though. Everybody's good, and all the times are all bunched up together.
Yeah, and Tommy, I've got sweaty palms already. I'm having flashbacks to the women's championship yesterday. We saw like Cece Jones and Alicia Lenz. They both cut out. They managed to recover. They realized they cut out. They managed to go back and pull up that extra third cut, get a time. We had 3 other competitors DQ because they cut out and attempted to go back, and they couldn't sneak in another cut. It was just absolute chaos.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
And Tommy, as you so correctly pointed out, all these competitors are getting so close that when it goes right, and there it is, Willard just a slight advantage at the switch, but when it goes right, you can throw a blanket over half the field. There we go again.
See. There we go.
12:02, 12:25. We'll let the official time sort out here in just a second. But we saw it. I mentioned the women's championship yesterday where we had 2 really abysmally slow times because of cutouts, 3 DQs, but the rest of the field, the top 5, they were all within a couple fractions of a second of each other.
Both cuts are good.
Let's have a look here at Calvin Willard over on stand number 2. Nice placement of the saw, Calvin Willard. He is a proficient chainsaw operator as part of his daily work, so it sort of translates to this stage. You get a great kind of hand, ear, eye coordination for what you can do with these saws. 2 beautiful discs from Calvin Willard on the thin side, but that's where you want to be. That takes some of the sideways, the lateral pressure off of the rivets and the side plates on the chain.
If you were watching, you saw both of these athletes deliver the saw to the wood at exactly the same instant, but Calvin Willard somehow able to find something, not a whole lot, 0.2 seconds, and that gives him the lead right now with 11.86 officially for Tristan Van Beek, a time of 12.09.
All right, folks, if you want to win one of those Steel 100 hats, there's the QR code. Our next question is going to be about the athlete Aaron Hovis. So scan along out there. Let's see what the trailer came up with this time, Dave. All right, Aaron Hovis teaches people how to safely use what? Heavy machinery, chainsaws, climbing equipment, or welding equipment? And here we go. Should have known that one was coming. Chainsaws. All right. If you got that one right, you can head back to the STIHL trailer. Get yourself one of those awesome STIHL 100 hats celebrating 100 years of STIHL equipment.
Hey, we got our hot saw champion coming up, Dave. How does that translate into the stock saw?
I know, he's had some swag about him since that victory on Friday. I have never seen so much confidence coming out of Josh Wilson. I really hope it translates well here into this stock saw.
I asked him how he felt in that final run of the hot saw. He said, I felt totally confident, like it was just another run in the backyard. He keeps that rolling in today. We may see him in the final 6. Bring him out, bud.
All right, here we go on position 1 for Marquand, Missouri. Let's hear it for Aaron Hovis on position 2. Your hot saw showdown champion from Morgantown, West Virginia, Josh Wilson.
Aaron Hovis in the foreground there. Didn't get quite the cut he wanted in the underhand chop. Our first discipline of the day, going up against our hot saw champion from Friday night, the hot saw showdown, Josh Wilson of West Virginia. He said it was an unbelievable experience. Say time, space, didn't matter. You're just in the zone, seeing colors.
I'm picturing like some kind of warp speed star wash sort of scene.
That's how he described it.
Warm up your saws. Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
Slight advantage, Josh Wilson. He actually bumps the front of the engine case on the log going in. And look at this, right together on the switch. Remember the time, Josh Wilson looked around to see if he had a complete disc. He was concerned he may have missed the bottom of that log. I started to say after the end of our last heat, it was 0.23 separating both of those athletes. That's room to park a couple more cars. We can see a couple guys slide in between them.
No doubt.
Both cuts are good.
But I think there was some concern from Josh Wilson. You see there as he comes up and actually lays the front of the engine case, it's technically the oil tank, on that log. And as he goes over to the upcut, you see him looking, I don't know if he's looking down at the disc that fell off, because that was a tabletop. I think he was more worried that he may have not got the bottom of that upcut. That he see his head kind of tip around in the middle of the cut. Sort of a quick self-assessment mid-competition.
Josh Wilson's official time of 12.14 puts him in third place. Beat out Aaron Hovis there. Hovis now in fourth with a 12.46 time to beat. Still Calvin Willard, 11.86 with 6 more heats remaining in the stock saw. Lots of music, lots of food, lots of refreshments of other sorts. Everything German, a lot of great exhibits of the culture and how it was brought over here to the United States.
Just walking that promenade, if you will, the festival grounds, there are so many stages along the grounds. You walk by and you're listening to one band, and just about the time you walk far enough, that band fades away. The next band is kind of coming into earshot. Just a beautiful facility. The energy, the food, the smells, the people, everything's just spot on here in Milwaukee.
So many pairs of lederhosen. If you're wearing regular pants, you feel like an outsider here a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm just going to have to live with it.
Or Tommy, there's a lot of vendors out there with
a
lot of lederhosen and a lot of colors
special
and style.
pair.
Yeah.
Just a couple of heats into our stock saw competition here. After the stock saw, we'll go back to some chopping with the standing block, and after that, we make our first cut.
Robarge. On position 2, your local boy, fan favorite, yo-ho from Hayward, Wisconsin, Cassidy Shear.
A couple of competitors with strong family connections to this sport we love so much. Dakota Robarge, originally from New York, now living up the road, Sheboygan, Michigan. Cassidy Shear makes his home in the Twin Cities, but so much of him is associated with Wisconsin for sure. Hayward, Wisconsin in particular. Former U.S. champion.
Warm up your saws.
Tommy, as I mentioned, as you just alluded to, former U.S. champion. And I just feel like he's due. He came off that championship. I don't want to call it a lull. He's been doing exceptionally well. Just hasn't been to
athletes ready
back on that podium like I thought he would.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, Dakota Robarge with a tough start on that stock saw. I can't tell if he got the chain break or no,
Cassidy Shear.
Oh boy, Cassidy Shear has to go back. The audible groan from the crowd. They all saw what I saw at the same time. Cassidy Shear's going to end up with a 14-1-4, which is excellent damage control considering the chaos that could have been on stand 2. He completely missed the nose of that bar on that upcut and realized it. I talked about this at the Women's Championship. Sometimes it's hard to even notice that.
Both cuts are good.
Yeah, both cuts are good, like no DQs, but both cuts were not necessarily good cuts. Here's Cassidy Shear coming down through, very thin first disc, but that's fine as long as it's a complete disc. He brings the motor over, but doesn't bring the nose of the bar with it. And when you're in that position, you can't see that end of the log. You'd think you'd feel the difference, but really it just feels like you're having an awesome cut. So the only indication you may have is a little sideways spray of wood chips coming out of your peripheral vision there as it blows out the end of the log. Cassidy Shear, again, a major error, but he was able to correct and get a halfway decent time at least. Here's Dakota Robarge. He's got the oil tank right up against that block, comes down through, nice quick switch over. Very thin disc that, again, takes that lateral pressure off the chain. It's almost like a little bit of a horsepower boost because you're not wasting that horsepower with friction on the side of the chain.
Dakota's time of 12.79, winning the heat right there. Good enough for 5th place. In 6th place, of course, Cassidy Shear, 13.94.
Love that. Robarge, man of the people, taking some pictures with the young fans over here on his way to get ready for the standing block chop, our next event. But we still got a few more heats here of our stock saw coming up.
And then right back into a chopping. The vertical chop, a standing block. The Matt Koger, I break world records everywhere I go chop coming up. Immediately following the stock saw. And then we'll narrow the field. So again, these points, so critical.
All right, here we go. Next heat coming to the stage now on position 1 from Springville, New York. Let's hear it for Mark Boquin. And from Newville, Pennsylvania, on position 2, Alex Storm.
A couple of competitors got off to a good start, put some decent points up on the board. Boquin, a good cut in the underhand, and ditto for Alex Storm. Try to move up a little farther this time around as they get the steel stock saws in hand. Alex Storm, also a coach at Penn State Monte Alto. He signed up for another season.
Warm up your saws.
He'll be starting soon.
Alex Storm, I'm picturing the intensity that he came off of the Hot Sauce Showdown with and the intensity he started here with today. He's taking himself very seriously. He sees himself
athletes
as a
ready
contender now.
Stand to your timber.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, go.
One-handed grab from Mark Boquin, but bobbles the back handle a little bit. Alex Storm well into this log. Alex Storm at 6 and change is making his switch. Boquin's going to have to work hard to reel him in. Not enough. There's that 12.06. It could come down to like a 12 flat. He might get nestled into that second place slot. I mentioned that 0.23 between first and second. There's 2 parking spaces in there.
Yeah.
Both cuts are good.
Let's go back and have another look at this run, Tommy. I think we're going to see Mark Boquin here. Perfect angle for Mark Boquin. He's a one-handed grabber, but when he goes back, I don't know if he misses the trigger. There's enough room in that back handle. You could have your hand kind of towards the back of the back handle and maybe just barely get the trigger with your index finger on your right hand. But there was clearly a bobble there as he goes up for the start. There's a lot of guys doing that one-handed grab, but there's you got to get the balance of the saw right so that the back handle comes up just right. Alex Storm was having none of it, though. He was not waiting around. Beautiful, thin disc. It's a risky move. But these guys have got to gamble to win. By the time he's done, he could have almost done that event again. He's got a nice chunk of timber left over. Actually, no, I'll take that back. This disc started to walk in towards the top a little bit. But, again, enough real estate, got the job done. I think he's going to weasel his way into the top part of here at 11.94. Yeah, there he is. He parked himself right in between Willard and Van Beek. Again, you know what? There's room for more in the tub. Come on in.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
I feel like we can get another guy in there. This is how stock saw has become.
That's why it's frustrating.
Hundredths of a second.
Absolutely. Alex Storm put some insurance up there trying to make it through these first 3 events, but that's the way you make the cut. You remain in the 8 who continue on into the second half of the competition. For Mark Boquin, a time of 12.18 has him in 5th. But only 0.3 of a second back.
There's Alex Storm and Mark Boquin spending some time with some fans, getting some pictures.
Here's is on stand 2 right now, Dave.
Yeah, here we go. Heat 5 coming to the stage now from Walpole, New Hampshire. Let's hear it for Trevor Beaudry. And on position 2 from Diana, West Virginia, Jason Lentz.
Should be a good battle between these big men here. Jason Lentz, the 2-time U.S. champion, 2-time world champion, going up against Trevor Beaudry. Trevor Beaudry has made his way into the finals for multiple meets here. Looking for his breakthrough moment. Time to beat 11.86 from Calvin Willard for back in the first heat.
That's huge for Calvin. There's probably some of the chops that he's going to fall behind on some of these guys. The underhand, maybe the single buck. If he can hold on to a stock saw win, that would be huge for Calvin Willard.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
Boy, these guys are right there to the wood at the same time. These guys, when they train, they are breaking this event down moment by moment. And a bobble at the top for Trevor Beaudry. He asked just a little bit too much of that saw. Jason Lentz, though, with that 12.09, he again is around that 12-second flat. He's going to be nesting right into that top 3. Trevor Beaudry went for a hero or zero moment, and it came back to bite him.
Both cuts are good.
Well, I tell you, when we talk about how tight these races are, Tommy, and these two were mirror images of each other all the way up until like the last quarter of the second cut here for Trevor Beaudry. He watches that disc roll away a little bit, and here at the end, you're getting into the small wood. So you've got less wood to cut, and this is when you'll see guys really start to pull the saw up through the block. Beaudry, just a tiny bit too much pressure. They're all pushing that envelope so hard. Look at me. Jason Lentz almost snapped the log off, bringing the saw to the block. You just feel the stage shake. Super quick on the changeover. Pulls the nose of the saw back in. It changes how it presents that change. And he manages, you can see him just kind of rip that saw through. Beaudry was going for that same move. Just got a little too aggressive.
Yeah, you said the time would be adjusted and in his favor for Jason Lentz for sure. An 11.87 puts him into second place, solo second place right now, just behind Calvin Willard. And a tough finish for that run for Trevor Beaudry puts him down in 8th place with a 12.77.
And everyone wants to see him cut a springboard. We need him in the next round.
All right, there we go. The fan cam is up and live. Show the STIHL Timbersports universe your fandom here at home or here at Germanfest. Scan in and say hello. There we go. We got some young fans out there. Yeah, they're pumped. They're pumped to have made it. I still have not seen a single beer on the fan cam yet here today, Dave. I can't believe it. I see beers out there, but where are they on the fan cams? Oh, there's one of those STIHL 100 hats right there. That's what you can win if you get one of those trivia questions right and go back and redeem it. That is a sharp hat. Ben Minkow.
Ben Minkow, we finally got you, buddy.
There he is. There's one of those pints.
That's Aaron Lavoie, right?
It's hard to tell.
That's not Aaron.
It was close. It looked like Aaron at first.
Look at Super Dave. Super Dave, that's you. How'd that get on there, Super Dave?
I've never even seen that one.
Shout out to the truck for that one. That's beautiful. All right, looks like we're getting set up for our next heat on the stage.
Heat number 6 in the stock saw. Let's bring them out, Brad Jones and Ben Carlson.
A couple of Northeasterners going at it in this heat number 6 of the stock saw. That's Brad Jones in the foreground. Brad Jones out of Stratford, New Hampshire, via the University of Maine. That's where he got his competitive career underway. And Ben Carlson from Granby, Connecticut. We've had some good performers from Connecticut through the years.
These guys traveled a long way to compete against each other here on this stage in Milwaukee.
Yeah,
but almost on a weekly basis for the entire competition season. I would say these guys probably see each other
up your saws.
3/4 of the weekends of the year. They're running in the same circles, if you will.
Yeah, yeah.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
Boy, so fast to the wood. These guys are just looking for every fraction of a second. Carlson a little bit behind, but a really thin disc. Now Carlson looking very fat on his second disc. Oh, and there it is again. Boy, a 12-2-3, even with that stuff up at the top. That was destined for a 12 flat or maybe a high 11. And again, we're just looking for these guys. They're just pushing that envelope a little too far. You cannot come out here and attempt a safe cut.
Both cuts are good.
Here we go, side by side. Brad Jones up first. Ben Carlson a little bit behind. And it shows there at the switch. Now watch on your left. Almost, maybe just a little bit farther into the cut than Trevor Beaudry. And there you see it. They're looking to just rip through that top of that log. And you got to do it. It's so much like so many other motorsports. You see, watch a stock car race, and you see somebody just spin out in a turn just totally on their own. You go, what? They just don't know how to drive? No. They're just pushing that car, those tires, that pavement to the razor's edge, and it's so easy to slide past that razor's edge. And that's exactly what we just saw from both Trevor Beaudry and Brad Jones, just pushing that last fraction of an inch.
Certainly a missed opportunity for both of those competitors. Jones' time of 12.82 has him in 10th and in 11th right behind Ben Carlson with a 12.94. Skyline of Milwaukee, framed right behind our BMO. I've heard it say the BMO also, the BMO Pavilion here. Really one of the the second biggest venue on the property here. Plenty big for our purposes. Nice covered open air. You get that breeze off of Lake Michigan. It certainly makes for a pleasant afternoon.
What about the fans over there, Dave?
Temperature said to reach up into the 80s today, and they were kind of freaking out on the news this morning. They're not from the same part of the world, not the same planet that I live on. That's for sure. Hope it didn't keep anybody home, because it is absolutely fine out here today. And the competition is terrific as usual.
All right, Dave, you ready for this next season of Stocks Off? I know one lady in the front row here who is ready. Is Cassandra Slingerland right downstairs. So let's bring them out. Matt Slingerland and Ben Nicely, let's get this going. They've been ready. They've been ready for a year now, Dave, to go at this.
Next to last heat here, heat number 7. Ben Nicely out of North Carolina going up against Matt Slingerland. Matt Slingerland confided to us he had spent some time yesterday in one of these sensory deprivation tanks. Something to work on, as he said. I put in 23,000 steps. Plus, I did the day before. I did the sensory deprivation tank yesterday. Later, all in the interest of sharpening your concentration, clearing the mind.
And if there is a discipline that requires concentration and a clear mind and clarity, it is this one. There is just no room for error, as was demonstrated by Brad Jones and Trevor Beaudry, unfortunately. And I tell you what, Matty Slingerland is one of the professors of this sport.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber.
A professor of the stock saw.
3, 2, 1, go.
One-handed grab up and in. Ben Nicely right there on his heels. Super quick on the switch. Advantage Slingerland. Levin,
yeah.
Baby, we got a new leader.
Yep.
Ben Nicely right in there, too. Both of these guys at the 11 and 3/4 mark.
Both cuts are good.
We're going to get a quick interview with Matty Sling. Look at the look on his face, the swagger, blowing chips and sucking up steel points. Matty Sling, tell us about that cut. Tell us about the opportunity, the redemption. Get your ass back on that U.S. team. We know you thought you deserved to be there last year.
Yeah, I'm not thinking about the team when I'm out here. I know I'm one of the fastest stock sawyers, and I just let the training take over there. I knew I needed the points, so nothing better than getting first points.
I love it, buddy. I love it.
Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go. For Cassandra Slingerland down here.
Well, watch these guys just put on an absolute clinic. Two of the best in the business. Super quick on the switch. Nose of the saw buried back into the block. And there's that rip at the end, right there, neck and neck. Ben Nicely knows that he was just racing one of the best in the business in the form of Matty Slingerland.
Official time for Matty Slingerland. He was out 11.47. That is good enough for first place. And second place, Ben Nicely, right behind, 5/100ths of a second behind with an 11.52. And one heat remaining.
11.52. All right, folks, here we go. Fan poll out there right now. Scan the QR code to play along. If you participate in this and you are on the winning side, you can go back there and get yourself these STIHL 100 hats. So here we go. And this is a poll. This is a poll. You think it's going to be Nate Hodges, or you think it's going to be Matt Koger who's going to win this next heat of the stock saw? Oh, look at that. Hodges in the lead right now. They're thinking it's going to be Hodges, Jewett. All right, here we go. Final heat of the stock saw. Let's bring them out. Your reigning national champion on position 1 from North Fork, California, Nate Hodges. And your 7-time national champ from Grafton, West Virginia, Matt Koger.
Nate Hodges here to defend his national championship from 2025, and the man who's got a pile of them right behind him, 7 national championships for Matt Koger. Time to beat 11.47, just laid down by Matt Slingerland.
And both these guys have watched all of those runs. They know what the time to beat is. They know where everybody's sorting out. They know where they sort out compared to the rest of the field. But now they just got to come out and run their race.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
Uh-oh, trouble. Oh, lots of trouble. It's going to get worse here, I think, for Matt Koger. If he keeps that first disc intact, he does. Oh, my gosh. What a recovery from Koger. Hodges, though, not waiting around as he goes to rip off an 11.55. I can't believe Matt Koger just pulled the wizardry that I just saw on stand number 2. He missed the grip on the saw. He hit the log. That would just throw everything into chaos, but he gathered that back up and stayed right on the heels of Hodges. All but just checking the discs over there from Matt Koger.
Both cuts are good.
All right, we'll grab Nate here.
That's good.
Nate, you were a little disappointed after the underhand. We knew you were going to come out here and absolutely attack this log. Talk to me about this cut, buddy. It was fast.
I don't know, Dave, man. It's hard to attack a log in a stock saw. There's, I think every man in the backstage right now agree with me. That's the most stressful event out here. I've said that every year. It never changes for me. I did attack. I went for it. There's 16 guys out here. I got to pick up points. I'm a little behind, so I did go for it. But I tell you what, as soon as the saw hit the log, it kind of bogged on me. I went, oh crap. So I run a lot of chainsaws, so I know how to feel it. But that first part, I stuffed it in there a little too hard, and then just let her ride. And the whole time I was thinking, well, I hope I got her in the right spot. So because you only get one shot at it, and did pretty good. So.
Absolutely. Standing block chop, one of your premier events coming up next. How you feeling about the log? How you feeling about your chances this one, man?
Yeah, I'm pumped now, Dave. Get that one behind me. Get that event. Now I can have fun. I can lock in. Now we got the fun events coming. The wood's rolling out a little bit firm and funny. So got to stay in it and cut it. Like, I got a little excited in that underhand earlier. I kind of got lucky. I got it off as quick as I did. Hope to have a better chop in the standing block.
Go get him, buddy. Give it up for Nate Hodges, your winner of that heat of the stock saw.
Well, watch the start here. Matt Koger, everything goes wrong on the way to the block. Had an odd grip on the saw, was kind of fumbling with a little bit, comes up and hits the underside of the log, and that just throws your trajectory off. I thought he was going to have a tough go at that first disc. Matt Koger, I got to buy that guy a beer. What an amazing recovery. Over to Hodges, though, a little bit of a foot shuffle. He gets in there, gets settled. Good first clean disc up into the second cut. Automatic response and comes out through the top of this log clean and smooth.
Well, a great save, but it's certainly not the ideal outcome for Matt Koger. He winds up in 4th place.
Yeah, I know he wasn't happy with that time, but a little moment of pause. He's got to go back and look at how absolutely atrocious that start was, and to come back from that would be great. A 4th place, I know he's disappointed, but I'd be pretty thrilled to recover from an oopsie like that.
Nate Hodges' time officially 11.37. He's the number 1, the tops in the stock saw. So 2 disciplines down.
Standing block chop. At the standing block chop, the felling of a tree with an axe is simulated. A vertically positioned wooden block with a diameter of 30 centimeters has to be cut through both sides. A powerful and precise swing with the axe is the premise of a good result.
Standing block chop on position 1 from Barnet, Vermont. Let's hear it for Calvin Willard. On position 2 from Stratford, New Hampshire, Brad Jones.
All right, some more New England chopping action here to get started on our second chopping event of the day, the standing block. There's Calvin Willard. Calvin Willard out of Barnet, Vermont. Going up against Brad Jones. Brad Jones, a little bit of a difficulty there with the stock saw. A bit of a bad break there. Really needs to get things going here.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
Well, I've always loved the axe presentation and the body positioning of Calvin Willard in the standing block. Could watch that guy cut standing blocks all day. Brad Jones has a little bit different approach in his opening blows and how he also presents his body. Calvin Willard looking to drive. Brad Jones is going to drive. I thought Calvin Willard had Brad on that one. Willard with a 21 and change. Brad Jones sub 20 seconds. Another personal best for Brad Jones. Again, Tommy, we talked about this at the opening of the show. He just is super appreciative for the opportunity to be here, and every event he is just throwing it out there.
Brad Jones came into this one in 7th. No, excuse me. Further down the list there. So he really needed to do good. And did himself a world of good with that time right there.
Yeah, his stock saw run really put him back in the field and cost him a lot of steel overall points. You see Calvin Willard around to the back. He gets at least a hit, almost a hit and a half in. Brad Jones slides the axe up the face of that block and slabs away some of that wood. He then gets into a nice clean pattern. Just a massive axe being swung there by Brad Jones. He had done a ton of work in the front side of that log, drove it off beautifully in the backside.
11th where he started here. That did his cause a good bit of good right there. 18.13 the official time for Brad Jones. Calvin Willard came in 9th place, just 1 out of the cut. The cut comes at 8 after this discipline right here. So we'll see how well his 20.96 is official time.
Over here. Who wants one of these bad boys? Who wants one of these? You gotta go. I like it over there. You think they're more pumped over there, Dave?
Well done.
That one's tuned right up. Our cannoneer here is getting it dialed in. Keep cheering, keep cheering, keep cheering. We're going rapid fire, baby, rapid fire. Keep going. Gonna have to have my attention. Here we go. All right, t-shirt. This is a big boy t-shirt. And the littlest guy out there caught it. I love it.
Dave, there's a lady over here that just took this guy out. Just bowled him right over to get that t-shirt. Well done, ma'am. Give a wave to the crowd. Hey, man, that is determination. Let's do it, Dave. Heat 2 in the standing block chop. Let's bring him out, Mark Boquin and Ben Carlson.
Very important for Mark Boquin here. Wants to stay in the top 8. Starts right on top of the, right on the bubble there. In 8th place. He can lay down a good cut. Could do his cause a world of good. Ben Carlson would do well to lay down a personal best here. And not by a little, but by a lot.
Yeah, sub-20 chop would suit him well right now. Mark Boquin just eats standing block chops. He's got so much power behind the axe.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
By Ben Carlson right there with the go. I love it. You can't let any time left on the table. Boquin and Carlson both around to the backside of the log. Boquin opens 1-1 on the near side. He's going to be looking to drive and break a lot of wood. He goes back to pick up one more chip, and it's Ben Carlson. Ben Carlson, Tommy, you asked, he delivered.
He
a 16-2-2 showing up right now is his unofficial time. From Tommy Sanders' lips to Ben Carlson.
How that happened.
Well, a discussion with Chris Alba.
Uh-oh. Let's hope it's not a deal breaker.
A little bit of a warning. I think based on his hand gesture, I think I know what that was about.
Both cuts are good.
Here's Ben Carlson. Chip around to the back. Those hits are so important because when he gets to the back side of the log, he'll be driving down towards those upward hits from the front side of the log. That driving blow came in a little low. He's got to come back to the near side, which is kind of backwards from what you would expect. I think that thing came off quicker than he even thought. Chris Alba had a talk with him afterwards. I'm wondering, we'd have to get like video footage of the seconds before the go for Ben Carlson. These athletes are allowed to touch the block with the axe, but it cannot be in the cutting area, the area they're going to chop. So you might see him like with the point of the axe up high in the block, sort of resting there. And the way that Chris Alba was gesturing, I'm wondering if he felt like Ben Carlson may have been poking around in the cut face or a little bit too close to the hinge. I'm not sure what he was gesturing.
Official time for Carlson, a 15.95. 3 seconds back is Mark Boquin, puts him in third, but now with the lead is Carlson. Personal best to be sure for him, for Ben Carlson, and he'll need some help from some of the other competitors, but there's hope there. He could make the cut here. He could make the top 8.
Yeah, and I briefly alluded to this in the ones to watch, or I guess right before the ones to watch. We were talking about guys that can come in and play a disruptor role. They'll come up and they'll nab points in some of their specialty events. They may not be part of the podium conversation this year, but they will come up and just kind of poke some of the other guys in the eye and rob some of those points. Calvin Willard did that in the stock saw, and Ben Carlson, I think we can make an argument he did that in the standing block.
Yeah.
Again, Trevor Beaudry, the massive underhand cutter, and he's
here we go. Trevor Beaudry going up against Josh Wilson. This should be a good matchup right here. Josh Wilson out of West Virginia, winner of our hot sauce showdown night before last. And Trevor Beaudry, some trouble in the stock saw for him. He's looking to regain some equilibrium here. He's good at this discipline for sure.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
Trevor Beaudry in that stock saw only guilty of pushing the boundary a little too far. Josh Wilson, a little trouble on those up hits. He stepped up on the near side, and the axe is hanging a bit. May not be the axe he wish he had, I guess, in this standing block chop, but it's the axe he's got. Josh Wilson looking to break. It's just not cooperating for him. Trevor Beaudry drove a tremendous amount of wood. Josh Wilson just time ticking away. That chop is probably a full 8 seconds longer than he wanted it to be. And again, Tommy, I keep flashing back to our women's championships. The tiebreaker comes down to total elapsed time. So when you have an event, maybe you don't place as high as you want, but you
Both
end up
cuts are good.
Really running the clock up. Yeah. That could come back and really bite you another time.
All right, here with Beaudry up here, you see I switched the hat. He has been my dark horse here this weekend. Trevor Beaudry, what a cut, buddy, in the standing block. Didn't come off exactly to plan, but you still got a great time, man. Talk to me about that log.
Yeah, I don't know. I got lost in the front on the second hit, so happens sometimes. I was planning to go 8 in the front, open 1 and 1. I put the first hit and it didn't seem like it went anywhere. I put another one up, and then I just kind of made it up, and it came off, but...
Well, we'll see how these points shake out for you, buddy. Let's give Beaudry a big, big round of applause. Sitting pretty good after 3. We'll see if he can advance.
And neither one of these guys with a cut they had hoped for. Josh Wilson, though, with a bigger deficit he now has to dig out of. Trevor Beaudry worked to dig out of that stock saw run that he had earlier today. You hear him, how he said he got lost in the front side of that log and then just started to make it up. You see his 2 opening blows, those upward hits in the backside of this log, both hung. He had a ton of slope on it. But again, we've heard from some of the competitors, the wood is on the firmer side and the axes are just hanging a little bit. We're getting a lot of pressure on the cheek of the axe. It's just not releasing out of the block.
Trevor Beaudry's time officially 18.89, puts him in 3rd place. And Josh Wilson, too many seconds there, 27 seconds, .10. And he's down there in 6th. There's your overall standings. Of course, Trevor Beaudry on top there, but we have many heats left to complete there. Matt Koger almost, I had visions of him winning all the 3 disciplines, of these first 3 disciplines here, but he had a little trouble there in the stock saw.
Van Beek. And gentlemen, I was just talking about is Van Beek. Not discounting Hovis. Van Beek.
Tristan Van Beek going up against Aaron Hovis here. Both of these guys need a good showing in the standing block. Really in need of a superb showing here, as a matter of fact.
Tristan Van Beek, a well-rounded athlete. He can climb, he can roll, he can chop, he can saw, he can throw axe, he can do all kinds of stuff. And he's just a super nice guy all the way around.
Absolutely is.
Aaron Hovis over on stand number 1. Find your favorite social media platform and look for Aaron Hovis. I bet you'll find him on there with some training videos, axe videos.
To your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
And Aaron Hovis, I'll speak on his behalf. I know he owes a lot to David Moses and the training that David Moses has offered. David Moses traveling out here to Milwaukee just to cheer him on and help him out. Boy, that axe is cutting, and Aaron Hovis is doing it well. He's looking to drive already. One near it twist. He goes to the bar. Aaron Hovis, a 19-1-0. What a great feeling. That was a fat amount of wood, but I could just tell that axe was liking that block. It was traveling in and out cleanly. And when you get down to those final driving blows, having a smooth, clean axe, it just gives you that confidence.
Both cuts are good.
There's Aaron Hovis in the front side of his log there on the near side of your screen, and Tristan Van Beek at work in the backside. He did a tremendous amount of work. He's going to punch in 2 more upward blows and goes in for an extra insurance policy on the far side. into the backside of the log. He goes 1 and 1, starts chasing these corners, far, near, and here comes far. As that chip releases, he goes into a driving action, chases that blow beautifully. When you can line up, I mean, we're talking a sheet of paper where you can place the blade of that axe on the edge of a sheet of paper twice in a row and let it chase down in there. The axe just gets drawn so deep into that block. That far driving blow then cleared off that block. What a beautiful finish for Aaron Hovis.
Not a personal best for Aaron, but his time does shrink down in the 18s, 18.84, and good enough for third place for Aaron Hovis. Tristan Van Beek, 23.17.
All right. The Wood Crew turning it over quick. Let's get a big round of applause for Jay and the boys over there on the Wood Crew. They've been crushing it here this weekend. Dave, who do we got up next?
4 more heats, then we cut the field in half. Heat number 5.
Well, we got trivia before the heat here. Scan that QR code now. Scan it. You can win one of those awesome Steel 100 hats we've been talking about. All right, here we go. Tristan Van Beek can throw an axe while doing what? Riding a unicycle, riding a horse, walking on his hands, or jumping on a trampoline? Riding a horse.
Yeah, we heard a bunch of riding on a horse down here. A bunch of kids had it right.
And if you had riding a unicycle, look at that. Rich coming out with both cuts are bad. Little motion there for Rich. All right, up next, coming to the stage in the standing block on position 1 from Newville, Pennsylvania. Let's hear it for Alex Storm. And on position 2 from Hayward, Wisconsin, Cassidy Shear.
Alexander Storm having a good outing here. Pretty solid in the 2 disciplines so far. Cassidy Shear, different story over there. Cassidy Shear kind of struggling his way through the first 2 events here. Let's see if he can get some momentum going here, at least put a good time down in the standing block.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
Alex Storm bringing a new level of intensity here this weekend, and I firmly believe it's because he sees himself as being part of the conversation now. I think in the past he saw himself as a rookie, just happy to be here. Now he's really seeing himself as a contender for the podium. Cassidy Shear with a rough start in this standing block chop. A little too much grip, a little too much stress on that axe handle, and the axe is just kind of chasing its way up through the block. Alex Storm, a good cut is 17.76, but again, he doesn't seem super happy with that as it comes off. You see him, he kind of recognizes he didn't have his shoulders in the right position, wasn't presenting the axe very well.
Both cuts are good.
Well, Alex Storm had a little bit of a displeased look on his face and some funny body language as he comes around here into the backside of this log. There's his opening 1-1 right in the middle. You see him there again, chase corners. You saw that little hang up as the axe came out from his 3rd hit on the backside. He pulled it back towards himself, and the heel of that axe hooked on the near side of the block. Those little nuancy details cost fractions of a second, and he knows it there as you see him shake his head with a little bit of disappointment there.
All in all, 17.53. He knocks into second place there. 2.5 behind leader Benjamin Carlson. Cassidy Shear, 19.56, has him in 7th place.
Yeah, Ben Carlson just running away with the field so far, that 15.95.
Yeah.
We've got some heavy hitters to come. Don't get me wrong. That time isn't necessarily safe. But every heat that goes by that he stays in the lead, that smile just gets a little bigger on Ben Carlson's face.
Yes.
This little guy's like, can I get my dad one? Can I get my dad one? Dave, you want to throw one? You got an arm, buddy? You got an arm? Who wants one from Super Dave? Super Dave heading out to the thrust over there.
Where's the lady who decked that guy? There she is.
Super Dave, you need one more?
No.
No,
Get
you don't
that
need one.
cannon
All right,
out,
I'll
Dave.
throw
I'm
it
not
for you, buddy.
throwing anymore.
I'll throw it for you. There we go. And one more. There you go, buddy.
Heat number
There
6 in the standing block chop. This is Ben Nicely and Dakota Robarge.
Ben Nicely coming out there. Ben Nicely not doing badly today. It's been kind of nice for Ben Nicely so far. He needs to hold serve here, though, and just ensure his place as we move on after the cutting the field in half here after this discipline. Going up against Dakota Robarge. Dakota would love to lay down a nice competitive time here, maybe something in the top 4.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
Beautiful start from both these guys. They are right there with the go. You don't want to leave time on the table. Dakota Robarge coming in a little bit flat, where Nicely's kind of raking across the floor a little bit, presenting the axe more naturally. A little bit of a hung chip there for Ben Nicely. Clears it. Super clean face from Ben Nicely. Hanging up as Dakota Robarge gets the axe loose to drive off. Dakota Robarge around 20 seconds flat. Nicely just a hit or two behind.
Both cuts are good.
Here's a look at Dakota Robarge in the front side of his log. Tons of slope, and then he starts to roll in that front face. Went back for that extra insurance policy, that upward driver on the far front side of the log, and then gets into the back side of the log. Ben Nicely in the background, though, just more slope, bigger face. I don't think Ben Nicely needed the extra hits he put in the backside of this log. In fact, he was even questioning. I can tell by the way he delivered that axe. He was lining up to drive it, and then questioned and kind of slapped in a weird up hit on the backside of that log.
And where are they standing right now? The sub-19 from Robarge.
All right, take out those phones, scan the QR code. We are going to vote on this next heat. Who you think is going to win? You called it right last time, Milwaukee, thinking Hodges was going to upset Koger in the stock stall. Let's see what you got this time in the standing block. All right, pick your winner of this heat. Is it going to be Jason Lentz or fan favorite Maddie Slingerland? Oh, they're thinking the big man's got it. Advantage to Lentz up there right now. And the crowd has spoken. 55% is saying Jason Lentz is going to be the winner of this next heat. We will see.
On stand number 2, Matt Slingerland going up against Jason Lentz in this next to last heat of the standing block chop. Jason Lentz, the 2-time U.S. champion, 2-time world champion, going up against Matt Slingerland. Matt's hanging in there points-wise, but certainly doesn't need to fall off the pace too much during this standing block chop, and you wouldn't expect him to. Jason Lentz looking pretty good to
Athletes
advance.
ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
Jason Lentz just keeps swinging bigger and bigger axes. Oh, and that hit got away from him. The near upward. Oh, and he's really starting to step up. I hope he's got enough of the work done in the front. He's so powerful, he'll break a ton of timber. But it's going to come back and bite him. Boy, that was super lucky for Jason Lentz. In the far side of that. Oh, no. All the struggles.
Wow.
Oh, Matty Slingerland thought that block was coming off. He went back and kind of did a quick little half hit. It didn't go. That was followed up by a few more half hits. Oh, that is just heartbreak for Matty Slingerland on stand number 2. He would love to have that one back again. Jason Lentz, the power was absolutely critical in the finish of his standing block chop. He was doglegged.
Both cuts are good.
He was doglegged on the far side of that block where his downward drivers were down below the front face of his log. Here goes Matty Slinger. The block is just getting away from it. It's a little bit rowdy. It looked like it was going to break. He has come back. He does a weird chop on it again. It doesn't go. And now, like, he just doesn't get lined up. Finally finds those fibers. The habit, the knee-jerk reaction is to kind of take the wrench and take the axe and kind of pry that block off. That is illegal. He did finish it cleanly. Let's have a look here. I wonder if we'll get a good angle on Jason Lentz here at the finish. That front face, you can see his line where he wanted to be, and he's like 4 inches up from there on the back. Now, or on the front. Now on the back, he drops that down as well. So now he's punching in really flat, and you see that last downward hit on the far side of that log. It comes in and just hits down into the stump, but he's so powerful, it just rips the fibers of that log apart.
Jason Lentz, he knows it could have been a whole lot better, but that time of 15.27 makes him the first to be able to overtake Ben Carlson's 15.95. He is the leader. Standing block chop points at this point right now. Matt Slingerland, 21.92 and 11.
And he had to go. Got Carlson by just over a half second, so Carlson can do no worse than 4th.
All right, there's that fan cam live. If you are at home, you can scan in as well. Show your STIHL Timbersports fandom out there. I love those heart-shaped glasses. Those are nice. Those are nice. Oh, I'm jealous right there. I am jealous. Well done with the Steins.
That's just not fair, Dave.
That is just not fair. That's not right. Oh, I love all the foam axes back there. All right, here we go. Final heat of the standing block chop. On position 1 from North Fork, California. Let's hear it for Nate Hodges. On position 2 from Grafton, West Virginia, Matt Koger.
Final heat of the standing block, and once again it's going to be Nate Hodges, defending champ, going up against Matt Koger, 7-time U.S. champion. Time to beat Jason Lentz. Not surprisingly, we got 3 strong names in the mix near the top of our leaderboard now. Jason Lentz time of 15.27.
And I'm still reeling over that cut from Jason Lentz. I mean, 15.27, he's in the lead. Yeah, I'll give him that.
Stand to your
wow,
timber.
That was just kind of spraying hits in
2,
there.
1, go.
If these guys can cut it cleaner and better, that time is beatable. Boy, the speed from Koger today is unbelievable. He and Hodges turning together. Cleanliness of chop right now goes to Koger, but Hodges is bringing horsepower. It is Koger driving off. 15.45 showing for Koger. Again, when we go to the official time, you may see some of that melt away. That was just a cleaner front face from Matt Koger. 15-2-3 now showing for Koger.
Both cuts are good.
Four 100ths. So Koger is going to win this event. What else is new? Let's bring him over here. Yeah, we're going to do a quick interview with you, buddy.
Oh, thanks, man.
You know, I know you're a Comp customer, and you do this so often. You've won so many standings. A little stick here. Talk about this final hit. It's coming up.
Yeah,
right
just you kind of remember what you did on the front, and then match it up to the back. And I think I felt like I was a little bit sitting back on my haunch instead of like really centered over my stance. And just a couple of little things there, maybe to shape up on.
Last year, let's rewind. You won the first 3 events. You've won 2 so far. The next 3 events, snake bitten. You did not podium. How do you erase that? How do you move forward going into the single buck?
Yeah, every year's a new year. You just learn from your mistakes and hopefully do what you can to improve on the next round. And that's what I focused on the most, and just really trying to put it all together and see how we go.
Thank you for giving us 100% and always giving us a great interview. Matt Koger, we'll let you get you handled up that single buck saw. We're going to see more of him. Here's the replay, Dave.
Well, watch this cut from Koger here as he opens this up. This is just clean. This is just done right. He had a hit get away from as he tried to drive off on the back. But again, this is a number 1 cut. Again, not to take anything away from Jason Lentz, but he'll be the first to admit it. His cut just got away from him. I think he was rushing himself a little bit too much, and Koger just did it more cleanly and more efficiently.
We'll be back. We'll take a look at the scores, and we'll look at the standings and look who made the cut and who did not get the opportunity to continue on in the competition here. We'll be back to the U.S. Men's Championships momentarily.
Some days, everything goes your way. This is not one of those days.
Look at that.
Good thing the Gator XUV can navigate rugged terrain and haul whatever the day demands.
Pull me out!
Because when work happens, you've got a Gator for that. The Gator XUV, built for every kind of workday.
The power's out!
Learn more at an authorized John Deere dealer.
Conserving moments like this. The Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation is building a strong future for all big game. 1 square mile a day. That's our mission. More access, healthier habitats. Your support will help shape what's next.
Welcome back, U.S. Men's Championships for 2026 STIHL Timbersports, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. This is German Fest. This is sort of our host venue here, and we are halfway through our competition at this point. The way the competition works, there are 6 disciplines, and a little bit of trouble with the graphics, but the thing to pay attention to is the points over there. And Matt Koger, who has grabbed 33 of the available 36 points, obviously with the big lead right now over Jason Lentz, defending champion Nate Hodges, 1, 2, and 3. And look at Matt Slingerland down there. He did get the second place in the stock saw, but otherwise it was fairly dismal for him. But he's the last man in. And those 8, Slingerland, Boquin, Beaudry, Nicely, Storm, Hodges, Lentz, and Koger. And now we move on with those 8 into some more sawing with the single buck.
Single buck. The single buck is a one-man saw about 2 meters long. With this, the athletes have to cut off a complete disc of a 46-centimeter thick wooden block. The perfect interplay between rhythm and strength is the key to success.
Flyby here.
Ready to go now with the single buck. We'll now have 4 matches here. Now we are down to 8 competitors after the cut after 3 disciplines. The first one's going to be Matt Slingerland, Mark Beauquin, Trevor Beaudry, Ben Nicely in number 2, Alex Storm and Nate Hodges in heat number 3, and Jason Lentz, Matt Koger in heat number 4. Single buck sawing about as old school as it gets. They look like a simple proposition, but you got to be a tough guy in order to prosper in this particular discipline. Points are now doubled. That's another part of the bargain here. So that makes things a little more volatile. When we get to the final event, the stock saw, after these next 2 disciplines, the points will be tripled,
After the first 3 events
making it
last year, we didn't
even a
get
little
an
bit more crazy
opportunity to watch him
and
cut
more
the
of a
single
scramble
buck. And he's worked so hard.
as you go for the gold.
It is the single buck now, but you have to commend his underhand chopping, his stock saw training, his standing block training to propel him into this position to display to the world that in his mind he is the best in the world. Or is it the Australian Braden Meyer? I know you're watching back home, Braden Meyer. No disrespect to you. Beauquin's going to be hunting you down, but I tell you, it's the Aussies. Sometimes it's the Europeans. It's the U.S. Sometimes we get the big Cumberlands up in Canada saying we're the best in the world. But right now, I'm going to say it's close between the Aussie, Braden Meyer, and Mark Beauquin.
I know, and if the fans out there want to take home some of these commemorative wood cookies here, we're going to be handing those out during and after the event. There's the Robards family at home. Love to see it. Love to see the young fans at home getting in on the fan cam. Know who we haven't seen yet is our buddy William Surguy there on the camera yet. Out there in Washington. We saw he was prepped up, ready to watch earlier. There's Billy Cornelius. There we go. He looks relaxed, doesn't he?
That's because he's been striper fishing all morning. He's been fishing. He said he was going to buy a boat, and he did when he retired from Timber Sports, so good on Billy.
There we go. Look at that beard. That's beard of the day material right there. There's some more beers. Wow, they're rubbing that right into us, aren't they, Dave? They're rubbing those in.
We're halfway done, Dave.
And look at that fancy hat.
Steele said this morning in the competitor meeting, don't worry, you guys are getting an after party tonight. And they've got it stacked up for the production crew, for the men and women that have been entertaining the crowds this weekend. So a little bit longer, we are waiting to see the men's champion not too far away.
Love seeing all the families at home watching around the world right now. Uh-oh, while they're driving, uh-oh. Dedicated fans watching Timber Sports driving down the roads. And there we go, lounging, watching. That's Hunter Ladati there, Dave. That's one of the Connecticut athletes, and his fiancee Marissa. There you see the John Deere Gator in the parade here yesterday.
All right,
Kristen
we're getting set.
Out on the skate.
Getting ready to go into the second half of our competition here. We are down to 8 competitors. After the cut, we're going to have some sawing coming up with the single buck when we return here, followed by the springboard chop and then another cut. All that unfolding when we return.
Some days, everything goes your way. This is not one of those days. Good thing the Gator XUV can navigate rugged terrain and haul whatever the day demands.
You pull me out?
Because when work happens, you've got a Gator for that. The Gator XUV, built for every kind of workday.
The power's out!
Learn more at an authorized John Deere dealer.
Conserving moments like this. The Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation is building a strong future for all big game. 1 square mile a day. That's our mission. More access, healthier habitats. Your support will help shape what's next.
For 100 years, we've built tools to work in nature with legendary performance and quality to master every challenge. Tools for people like you who work like a pro with heart and soul. Built for nature, trusted since 1926. STIHL.
STIHL Timbersports U.S. Championships, Men's Championships for 2026 are sponsored by STIHL, celebrating 100 years, by John Deere, and by the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation. So great to have you with us as we get into the second phase of this important process of identifying a U.S. champion for this year of 2026. 8 have made it through the first 3 disciplines, and they will continue now. Points values have now doubled. That complicates things a little bit, opens up opportunities for some, if you look at it the right way. All played out against the backdrop right there of German Fest, going on in its 3rd and final day here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, here on the shores of Lake Michigan. Everybody having a big time today. Certainly enjoying watching the best in the business go at it as hard as they can. They're not going to leave anything on the table. There's no biding your time. There's no pacing yourself out there today. You got to give 100% plus effort every go around.
This is the hot saw, producing them 3 at a time. So, all right, we got another poll question up on the screen right now before we get into this first heat of the single buck. So scan in if you have not gotten yourself one of those STIHL 100 hats yet. Here's an opportunity for you. You're entering Timber Sports tomorrow. Which event are you volunteering for? Let's see what the crowd thinks out there. You're going to do the hot saw, the single buck, the underhand chop, or the springboard. Dave, what would you do?
I know this answer. Everyone's going to go for hot saw. I got to believe it. That's all. We got cameramen back there. They want to buy a hot saw just to do it. So it is an infectious event.
They think they want to do the underhand chop, Dave.
That's probably a better call. Yeah, who wants to buy a $15,000 hot saw anyway?
Yeah, especially after talking to Nate Hodges about all of the troubles he's gone through with his hot saws. He set that world record out here last year at 4.27 seconds, and then he said it was just too violent. It was shaking too much. I need to build another one. He built a 460 to race with this weekend that is a lot less violent.
Let's bring out the first heat of the single buck. We've narrowed the field down to 8. Heat 1 is Matt Slingerland and Mark Boquin. 2 athletes that could easily represent the United States in this event.
All right, first heat of the single buck. Mark Boquin going to be on stand number 2, and on stand number 1, Matt Slingerland. Matt Slingerland is last man in, 8th place. He has made it, and now the points are doubled, so he gets to continue on and maybe rack up some big-time points here. But he's going to have to start early and excel often if he wants to make it to the last round.
Well, he's got a tough first event here in our second round of competition in Mark Boquin over on stand number 2. Arguably one of the best single sawyers in the country. This is his premier event.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
Matty Slingerland, being a left-handed operator, puts him in a unique position facing his opponent instead of being sort of back to front. Boquin, a little bit of a tough go here in the bottom third of the log, but he's going to drive off cleanly. Uh-oh. Matty Slingerland. A little bit of a close call there for Matty Slingerland.
Both cuts are good.
Called it this morning. Big round of applause from Mark Boquin. Buddy, we talked about it. We talked about it. You came out and you tested your saw earlier. Thank you, Dave. You tested your saw earlier, which every athlete is allowed to do. You can test 2 or 3 saws. You tested one. You said, I just cut that log in 10 strokes. And you're at about 1.1 seconds or less per stroke, and your time at 10.68, new record. Talk about it, bud.
Yeah, I mean, that was I always loved the single buck. It's my favorite event to do. I'm happy to be here and able to do it. And it was a good cut. There's a couple spots I know you probably saw. Well, I was a little slow, or I finished early in my push going into my pole. Kind of slowed me down a hair, but overall I was very happy with it.
Yeah, I've seen you make plenty of cuts. When you extend too far, sometimes that nose can dive down, the raker can dig in. You were cutting so fast. I would agree with the call. To play it safe, use the length of the saw that had been working for you through the cut. How important is that? Have that presence of mind to say, stay with the plan.
No, it's so important. And, you know, you get into these competitions, you go into race mode, and sometimes you rush yourself a little bit, and you just got to relax and do what you know how to do. And I'm happy with that cut. I want to do another one, but...
Timber Sports athlete, Australian Braden Meyer watching at home. Any trash talk for the guy who just nipped you last weekend?
Nah, he's a good dude. I'll get him next time, though.
All right. Big rivalries. Big round of applause. The national record holder now from Springville, New York, Mark Boquin.
Let's have a look at that run from Mark Boquin. You heard him go, boy, I'd like to have that back. I know there's some things I could do faster, even though it is a national record. And in the cut, I was noticing what he also noticed, a couple of short strokes, but he does pull it off clean, fast. And look at, he's shaking his head, even at a national record. This is what I love. It also kills me about this sport is we are a group of perfectionists. It doesn't matter how well it goes. You're looking for the way that it could have gone a little bit better. Let's look at this finish here from Matty Slingerland as he goes to shove off the end of this. I think he was anticipating pushing the saw, but instead the saw comes down, gets his knee, and does nick his pants a little bit. Got some medical attention as he walked off the stage, and then he actually ran off the stage. I don't think that was a sign of the severity of his injury, but I think that was a sign of how he was hoping to get that patched up as quick as possible to get back here to the stage.
heat number 2 coming out now in the single buck from Walpole, New Hampshire. On position 1, let's hear it for Trevor Beaudry. And on position 2 from Matthews, North Carolina, Ben Nicely.
A couple of competitors been putting in a lot of time on this stage over the last few years here, both of pretty much the same vintage. Trevor Beaudry out of New Hampshire has made it into the top 8, and he's going to be going up against Ben Nicely. Pretty steady for Ben. Trevor's been a little up and down. He's had some good moments and a few little roadblocks.
And the stock saw being one of those moments for Trevor Beaudry. That was just, we saw two guys, Brad Jones and Trevor Beaudry, again, just push a little too hard or pull a little too hard, as it were, in the stock saw, the top of that second cut, just trying to rip through to the finish. And they were punished for that extra effort. It was a heartbreaking moment for both those guys, but he's made it through round 2.
Time to beat a 10.68 from Mark Beauquin. For that win, he received 16 points as the points have doubled.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
The different approach between these two athletes. Ben Nicely, a very flat start on the saw. Ben Nicely with some angle on that saw. You see him get up over top of it. There's a lot of saw left, though, for Ben Nicely. The nose of that saw can be pulled back in, and that allows fewer changes of direction. Every change in direction has a nanosecond of a pause in there where you're spending energy and not getting any reward for it. So when you've got 10 inches of saw sticking out the far side of that block, that is just a sign of wasted effort, wasted energy.
Both cuts are good.
We'll have a look here. That is Trevor Beaudry, who was on stand number 1 on the left side of the stage. And you can see the nose of that saw getting drawn all the way back in. Some of those gullets, though, not just discharging noodles like they should. That then takes that waste product and draws it back into the saw. That adds friction, resistance, and with those gullets already full, they're not able to capture more material on that next pass. Might be time for a little polish up on the inside of those gullets, get them to eject some of that material a little more efficiently.
Well, those two, Trevor Beaudry getting the best of that heat there. That puts him in third place with a 14.14, and Ben Nicely a 16.40. He stands in fourth. Mark Beauquin setting a new national record there. Not surprisingly, hanging on to that lead. And Matt Slingerland, not a bad cut despite all of the little scare moment there at the end, for sure. 11.86.
A word trickling up here to our penthouse suite, Tommy. Matty Slingerland, I think you're going to have him taped, glued, stitched, whatever it takes, but he is expected to return. I'm glad to hear that. Obviously a scary moment.
He's a gamer, there's no doubt about that. If there's any way to do it, he will be out here. We are happy to hear that news.
He's a fighter, and I'm so glad that Nathan Waterfield, the global sports director, is going to allow him to fight through the springboard.
All right, here we go. Heat number 3 of the single buck. On position 1 from Newville, Pennsylvania, let's hear it for Alex Storm. And on position 2, your reigning national champion from North Fork, California, Nate Hodges.
Hodges versus Storm here. Alex Storm, if we have what could be called a young upstart in this field of 8 who remain right now, it would be Alex Storm, although he's been around. He's made a few trips around the block, that is for sure. But he's going up against the defending national champion. Former world champion as well.
And I've got such mixed emotions about Nate Hodges in this single buck event. It has been interesting to watch him in several of the disciplines. Nate Hodges is insanely strong. And he relied on that for many years, and it worked. But he's starting to understand the technique, the form, the finesse, combined with his power, is even more powerful. So I'm curious to see what version of Nate Hodges we get in this single buck event.
Had a great time to shoot for 10.68 by Mark Boquin.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, and trouble off the start for Hodges, but now he's into it. There it is, that entire saw being used from Hodges. Great looking form and that power. Oh, and his hand comes completely off the handle. That can be exceptionally dangerous. A 12.36 for Hodges. He is just so exceptionally strong, and again, he's pulling his form, he's pulling his technique together. Again, national champion. There's nothing to take that away from. He's so fast this event, and he can continue to get faster. That is what's so scary about Nate Hodges.
Both cuts are good.
Just waiting for the day when Nate Hodges snaps a handle off one of these saws. You can see there as he set the heel of the saw in a little bit too much, hooked a raker and it hangs, causes the nose to jump up, just disrupts the energy so much. But when he gets into this wood, he is now a total body sawyer, and he is all the way handle to nose of the saw. On that one pull of the saw, he literally rips his hand back off of that handle. But I love what I'm seeing from Nate Hodges. We've all been saying, there you can see as that hang cut happens, his hand just rips off that bottom handle. But I love to see this transformation over the past couple of years, and I hope he sticks with it, because again, he is so powerful, and if the form comes with that strength, he is going to be unstoppable.
12.14, the official time for Nate Hodges, has him in third place. Alex Storm would like to have done a little bit better there. Got a 15.86, and he is in fifth as it stands right now with one heat remaining.
Coming up on the screen, who is going to win this final heat of the single buck? So play along out there. The crowd has been right so far here today. All right, scan the code. Here we go. Who is going to win the next heat? Is it going to be Jason Lentz or Matt Koger? Oh, it's dead even right now, Jewett. Dead even up there. Slight advantage to Koger. They're picking the upset here. They're thinking Matt Koger's going to take it.
Well, they're not aware that I trained and did some coaching with Jason Lentz a few days ago. Had they known that, it would have been 90% Lentz. Maybe 95. This is our last heat, though, Dave.
Yep, here we go. Let's bring him out from Diana, West Virginia on position 1. Let's hear it for Jason Lentz. On position 2 from Grafton, West Virginia, Matt Koger.
Big time battle coming up here in the single buck, one we've seen many, many times before. Jason Lentz, two-time world champion, two-time U.S. champion, and 7-time national champion Matt Koger going at it here. Top points being held down right now by Mark Boquin, setting the national record in our first heat, 10.68.
Both of these guys they're within striking distance of that, but that's a long cast. I mean, we're asking these guys to find another couple of seconds in an event that comes down to fractions of a second. If I had to lean one way or the other, I'm really curious to see Jason Lentz. He has really been working on technique. He's been talking to that Dave Jewett guy quite a lot about form. And if there's no bigger single buck nerd in the country than Dave Jewett.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
Both these guys right there on the go. I tell you what, though, Matt Koger's saw is just melting. Jason is cutting well, but I don't know. Oh, the hang at the bottom. Multiple hangs at the bottom for Matt Koger and a hang at the bottom for Jason Lentz. It was a hang fest down in the bottom of those logs. Both these athletes coming in the 13-second range. Neither one of them cutting to their potential as they got into the small wood in the bottom of that log. Boy, Jason looked so explosive off the top of that log. I thought it was going to be all Jason Lentz all the way, but Matt Koger was just melting down through that block.
Both cuts are good.
We'll have a look at this run by Koger. Again, they're cutting a circle. So when you're at the top of the log, it's a few teeth on a small amount of wood. But look at the repeated efforts it took for Matt Koger to get back underway. It is just unbelievably debilitating when you get that saw down in the small wood and stuff a raker or maybe a couple cutting teeth into a small margin or some sticky fibers of wood. It just absolutely locks you down. Jason looked so good at the top of this log, but things just don't seem smooth for him. That saw doesn't seem really free. He has a hang up at the bottom, but is able to shove through. Matt Koger just absolutely snagged in the bottom of that log.
Very surprising. Let's look at the final standings here in the single buck, and it's still Mark Boquin's time holding up the 10.68 national record on top. And now let's switch over to overall points. And, well, Koger was set to stage a runaway, or the beginning of a runaway there. He let Nate Hodges back into this thing in a big way. Those two are a point apart, 41 and 40 points. Jason Lentz right there with 39. Then we drop down 10 points to the rest of the field. Mark Boquin, Storm, Slingerland, Beaudry, and Nicely. 7 and 8 are critical positions here, because 7 and 8, when it's the next discipline is done, are going to be gone. We'll only have 6 that move on to the final discipline, which is, of course, the hot saw.
All right, here we go, Super Dave. Everybody earlier had the chance to win the Centennial Edition 500i steel chainsaw over here. And look at this bad boy. We got it up here on the stage right now. They've just notified me. Mark Carlson. Mark Carlson, congratulations. He's one of the Carlson crew, Dave. Look at that. The Carlson crew. Congratulations, Mark. You won yourself a Centennial Edition 500i steel chainsaw. Wow. Let's hear it for Steel. Let's hear it for Mark. Absolutely. Absolutely. Congratulations. Hey, worth the trip, right?
Absolutely worth the trip. We're super proud of Ben Carlson. He did a great job. Awesome cut on the standing block today. Good job, Ben.
All right. Congratulations, Mark. Enjoy the song. Oh, take it with you, buddy. Take it with you. You take it right down the stairs. Yep.
All right. Right now we're doing the preparations for the second of our second half of the program disciplines here. That is going to be the springboard chop. That is something with a lot of history and a lot of challenge for these athletes, and it's coming up.
Springboard. Springboard simulates the traditional way of felling trees, climbing up over thick roots. First, notches known as pockets are chopped into the log. 2 springboards are then anchored into these pockets. The athlete then climbs up to chop through a 27-centimeter thick block of wood in the fastest time possible.
All right, the springboard chop. As far as strength, balance, precision, this may be the biggest challenge of all of our disciplines here. And there are our pairings. We will have 4 heats, as per usual, in this part of the proceedings. Matt Slingerland going up against Mark Boquin in heat number 1. Trevor Beaudry, Ben Nicely in heat number 2. Alex Storm and Nate Hodges in heat 3. Jason Lentz, Matt Koger in heat number 4. Koger, Hodges, Lentz, each within a point of each other. 3 points amongst them. 41 for Koger, 40 for Hodges, 39 for Lentz as it stands right now.
Well, Tommy, out of all...
Excellent. I can't say it. Been a lot. Watch the power of Sling on his backside.
All right, we are cleared to go. Here we go. On position 1 from Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. Let's hear it for Maddie Slingerland. On position 2 from Springville, New York, Mark Boquin.
Good to see Matt Slingerland coming back out here, ready to compete. Had a scary moment there. Got nicked by the saw at the very end of his single buck run there, going up against Mark Boquin. Mark Boquin didn't notice it. He was busy setting a new national record over there on the other stand in the single buck. Now these two going at it as our first of 4 heats.
And Mark Boquin was busy setting a national record that I think he was a little disappointed in and wanted to do faster.
Yeah, that's right. That's the way it is at this level, I guess.
It really is. It's I crack up every time because you'll see new world records and guys will just go, you know, it just felt like a good cut and I wish I had my 4th hit back and I could have put my 5th hit here. So, Tommy, what I'm thinking about with this springboard chop is that whole elapsed time for tiebreakers. Right. Our top 3 separated with just a couple of points.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1. Go.
Of any of the 6 disciplines, this is the longest duration that our athletes will be competing, and therefore it is also opening up the window for the biggest gap in terms of times. So when we have, or if we have a tie at the end of the day, and we're starting to add up elapsed times, this is where you might gain or lose the majority of that elapsed time. Maddie Slingerland, bum knee and all, is up and swinging confidently. Mark Boquin is not happy with that second board, elects to come back down and make an edit to that second pocket. Maddie Slingerland to the backside of this log. He is one of our only switch-handed cutters. He doesn't just slash off. He completely turns his body around and cuts on his offside. Boy, he almost came off that box. Look at that, 41.74 for Maddie Slingerland. Coming out glued up, taped up, etc., and posts an awesome time. We got to see where that official time goes, ends up resting. But again, Tommy, to my point, 41.74 showing for Maddie Slingerland. Mark Boquin now past the 1 minute mark. There is no other discipline out of the 6 where you can gain or lose that kind of margin.
Yeah, Mark Boquin needs to avoid a tie as it stands right now. And anyone who has to go through a reset of the board and sort of starting from square one. Oh, no. All right.
Mark Boquin with an epic failure of that pocket. I just kind of, lost my breath, lost my heart there for a second until I saw Mark Boquin get back up. The top of that pole just slabbed as soon as he finished. Got the entire event done. What a finish from Mark Boquin. He is up, moving, 2 thumbs up. He'll be sore tomorrow, but he'll be ready to go for the rest of the day today.
Okay, well, technically, both cuts are good.
A little bit more for Sling. We'll get a word with Sling.
Are we doing it? Wait. Up to you. Yeah, we need some interview from this guy. I know it's been a rough day, but I'm going to let you talk. I mean, look, you got a 16-pound saw came up and hit your, which leg are we talking about? It's this right leg. That's your leading leg. You're a left-hander. You're opened up. You got a 3-inch gash in your leg. They've taped you up, wrapped you up, steri strip. Do you feel that in the springboard, or it's just pure redemption? Talk about the moment right now.
Well, I wasn't feeling how I was going just after. No, I was good. I had to go for it in the single buck. Like you said, I was down all day. So, you know, in this sport, it can get dangerous if you're trying a little bit too hard. But I found out afterwards that I got second, so heck yeah. Figured I'd keep it rolling here. just happy to get a 41-second time. It's one of my faster ones. So it's good to overcome that and just get it done.
Boy, you're looking good going into the Hots. One of the fastest in the world, one of the few athletes in the world to cut under 5 seconds in the Hots. How are you feeling? How's your saw feeling in this humid weather today?
Yeah, it's time to send it.
All right, we'll let you go. We're going to send him off the stage. Let him get his
We'll go
hot
back and
saw
have
ready.
a look at that run from a slightly gimped up Maddie Slingerland, but, beware of wounded animals, Tommy.
No kidding. Absolutely. We've ran into that before.
Yeah, and what I love about Maddie Slingerland in the springboard is he is a switch-handed cutter. You can't run around this block like you can on a standing block. He puts in a beautiful, clean front face, hits chasing each other in, pops in one more far up hit to make sure the job is done there, turns, and almost with equal competence, cuts on his off-handed side.
Sensational job there by Matt Slingerland, coming back from a scare and getting the job done. Not just getting it done, but really, really laying down a good time. Something for the rest of the field to shoot for.
But, of course, these guys are apparently trading terrifying moments, because here we see the final blow, and almost in sort of a horrific dunk tank sort of situation, the entire top of that tree just slabbing all the way to the top of the pole. He nearly beats the top of his own block to the ground. A very scary moment, but 2 thumbs up for Mark Beauquin. He's going to feel that tomorrow.
Yeah, I think you can take an 7-foot fall onto your back.
Yes.
With a racing axe in your hand.
That's about the best imaginable outcome.
That's a recipe for PTSD for a little bit, I would think. Well, Matt Slingerland's time, again, 41:51. That's a good one for everyone to shoot for. And might have made up for a lot of shortfalls that Matt has had so far today.
Well, and to Maddie Slingerland's credit, too, Tommy, we go back to that somewhat terrifying single buck run. He wound up second overall.
Place. A good time. A great time.
He said, if I can get second and get a few stitches, it's worth it. Told we got a different angle on this unfortunate thrill ride from Mark Beauquin. It was in sync. Block hits stage, Beauquin hits stage. Manages to, you can see them, that's very intentional on his part. You see his right arm reaching away with that axe and making sure that stays away from him. He may have even had the mental wherewithal to keep the blade of the axe up.
All right, here we go, Super Dave.
I'm getting out of the way, Dave. You call him. I'm out of here.
Heat number 2 coming onto the stage now on position 1 from Walpole, New Hampshire. Let's hear it for Trevor Beaudry. On position 2 from Matthews, North Carolina, Ben Nicely.
All right, a couple of athletes need to make a good run at Matt Slingerland's time here. Again, it's 41:51. That's Ben Nicely. Stand number 2. Stand number 1 is going to be Trevor Beaudry. Working hard here to first and foremost be in the top 6 among these 8 who are left in this second segment of our competition.
These guys are both sweating bullets here a little bit as we move into this springboard discipline. Trevor Beaudry is a solid 1-minute springboard cutter. I think his personal best is 59 and change. And I've always been surprised by that because he's such a cerebral cutter. He's so smart. He's so efficient. And I feel like he should be, down there in the conversation around that 50-second mark, maybe even dipping below the 50-second mark. I keep waiting for that from Trevor Beaudry. And if there were a time to do it is now.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
Job 1 is you need to build a good scaffolding system. Beaudry, a little bit of a sweep, as it does Ben Nicely, to clean some junk mail out of the back of the mailbox there. Beaudry with a great-looking board set. He's got to get this done in 4, and they've got to be clean. It's not going to happen. He's got to go back for modification. Those hits take time. Ben Nicely may pass him on this second board set. You can see like a little bit of hesitation there as he gets set on that. All those little moments, the extra 2 hits, the little bit of hesitation as you get to that board, that's where that time goes away for these athletes. Oh, and there's trouble for Beaudry as that board set starts to settle on him a little bit. He gets uneasy. He's got to move his left foot in. He is now in a horrible, awkward position. He will now be far from his personal best time as Ben Nicely, we turn our attention to stand 2, looks to slash off the backside of that block. That is a terrible situation for Beaudry as his toe is almost in the hole. Ben Nicely, a 102. Far from his best chop ever, but again, he's going to be in a much better position. Beaudry, again, thinking about that total elapsed time, needs to get this block off. He saw that just tragic event. Boy, and he's just not feeling comfortable up there. He's actually questioning finishing that block.
No, he's going to do the dismount here. It's not safe.
No, and I'm wondering if he's going to make an edit to that pocket. There is a time limit on this event. I think he is going to make an edit. Yep, there he goes. Back in to rework that pocket. Again, he doesn't want to have a DQ. He doesn't want to have a DNF. He wants to grab as many points as he can. You can see that was a beautiful camera angle. He's got chips on the nose of that shoe. He's looking around for time. He's looking around for input. There is a chip on the top of that springboard shoe that I don't like. That's what's actually causing that sag. And it acts like putting a cork on a fork, to quote the famous Steve Martin. There it is.
There we go.
That chip on the edge of that shoe just gets rid of all of the bite that shoe would have in the top side of that springboard hole. We might see it in a replay here on that second board set. You actually see the chip come out as he pulled that springboard pocket out. But you may see that in that replay where he goes in to set that board on his edited second pocket, and you see it just scoop up a bunch of trash that is then sitting on top of that shoe.
Both cuts are good.
Boy, it's hard to know which way to look when you've got two athletes in just absolute battle mode out here. So I appreciate the instant replays and getting to go back and, again, pull the arm on my lumberjack armchair positioning. And we see Ben Nicely just working. He's got great slope on this. He's feeling fairly comfortable. Chasing hits in very clean, not stepping in and recutting or double cutting timber. He sets up a beautiful front side of this log. He's well into the front side of the log. He's going to drive up, clear out some of those chips, maybe one more. I don't know what that hit. That was a little bit of an undecided hit there from Ben Nicely, but into the backside he goes. This is where things start getting hairy for Trevor Beaudry in the background. You saw him grab the top of that log and shuffle his feet in. He's now just choked up on that axe. He's just arm chopping, elbows bent, unable to get any power behind that axe. We'll turn our attention over here to Trevor Beaudry. We'll watch this pocket. You can see that first hit come down, and it just chips or slabs and tears down into that tulip poplar. He then modifies, goes a little bit lower. Now at this point, that looks like a pretty clean pocket, but it doesn't want to hold him for some reason. He's all the way to the back, and I'm guessing the bottom of that pocket just starts to crush down. Yeah, it's hard to see, but there's no junk in the mailbox at that point, and it's got to be just the bottom of that pocket just crushing down.
All right, take a look at the scoreboard. So far, 2 heats in the springboard, and it's still Matt Slingerland on top with that excellent 41.51. Ben Nicely with his 102.24 in that, winning that second heat, is in second place. Bo Quinn and Beaudry as it stands now. We got to reset one of our polls. We'll be right back.
Some days, everything goes your way. This is not one of those days.
Look at that.
Good thing the Gator XUV can navigate rugged terrain and haul whatever the day demands.
Pull me out!
Because when work happens, you've got a Gator for that. The Gator XUV, built for every kind of workday.
The power's out!
Learn more at an authorized John Deere dealer.
Conserving moments like this. The Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation is building a strong future for all big game. 1 square mile a day. That's our mission. More access, healthier habitats. Your support will help shape what's next.
Welcome back to the U.S. Men's National Championship 2026 in STIHL Timbersports. And our athletes got to, really get front and center here. Get a little attention out there in the middle of German Fest. There's some of our athletes joining in the parade there. A prominent spot in the parade. Taking different modes of transportation down the broad midway there. And everyone showing their appreciation for these guys. Skateboard, one wheel, whatever it takes to get it done.
Based on that footage, I've got to imagine that Cassidy Shear has been in multiple parades.
Yeah.
Because he had the wave down.
Oh, my gosh. He may be an instructor at parading or something like that. He's always good at facing the public, that's for sure.
All right, so here we go. Another poll coming to you live. Scan the QR code. Who is going to win this next heat? We got Alex Storm and Nate Hodges coming up next.
It depends whether he goes full Hodges or not, Dave.
He never not goes full Hodges, Dave.
Yeah, Hodges. Everyone knows Hodges at this point.
Yeah, they're saying heavy favorite. Heavy favorite is Hodges. And there it is, 67.7% thinking Nate Hodges is going to take this one. We will see if you are right.
Well, Hodges in his debut on this stage, his first time ever in Timbersports, broke the world record on this stage. And I believe it was 35 seconds. It was 35 seconds. No one thought it would ever be broke. Bring in Walt Page. Walt Page, I believe, cut it in the high 34s and retired the next year. What a classy move by Walt Page. If you're watching at home, buddy, that was one of the most awesome things we've ever seen.
Well, as we continue to prepare for those final two heats in the springboard chop, let's take a look at the point situation. Matt Slingen, of course, laying down the good time there. But overall standings, overall points so far, with two heats remaining, we got Matt Slingen, of course, on top with the 16 points, the maximum points here as they're doubled in this second stage of our competition. Mark Boquin, 12 points. Koger yet to chop. Hodges yet to chop. Lentz yet to chop. Nicely and Beaudry are in 6th and 7th place. And Alex Storm in 8th. Got to be in the top 6.
Springboards. If he gets his pockets in, you just can't beat his hit speed. His pockets are not perfect as they have been. He's been 4 and 4, 4 in the bottom, 4 in the top. They've been great. I've seen him make mistakes lately. he needs to be perfect today.
Absolutely. All right, let's see it here on position 1 from Newville, Pennsylvania. Let's hear it for Alex Storm. On position 2 from North Fork, California, Nate Hodges.
Heat number 3 coming up. This is going to be Alex Storm against a defending champion, Nate Hodges. What an entrance he made earlier. Caught up with Nate a little earlier.
I think every year on this Timber Sports stage is, comes with some surprises. Last year, I was kind of down all day in points. I felt like I was having a rough day. But, after the second round, I ended up points leader. So that was, it was, I'm not going to say it's surprising, but it was a pleasant surprise.
Well, Nate talking about how things can change, how volatile the point situation can be, the way it's set up as the points doubling in the second stage, tripling for the final event, the hot stall. Former world record holder in the springboard, Nate going up against
Athletes
Alex
ready.
Storm.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
Alex Storm is seeing opportunity on the horizon with some fumbles and bobbles from some other competitors in early heats of this springboard event. Nate Hodges, though, former world record holder, is just going to be pounding these pockets in. He does go 6 hits in the top board, and he is up there making contact around 20 seconds. That is a little off pace from his best, but it may be good enough. He is so strong, so tough in this block at the top. He is going to be setting drivers and getting around. Now he's going to do one more round of chips. Now sets drivers, cleans out the far side of that log. Boy, he just buries the front side of that log, and he is slashing off the back. He'll be around 42, 43 seconds. That is impressive timing for Nate Hodges. There's more there to be had. We've obviously seen it cut faster, but based on how some of the pockets have failed for athletes earlier, that is a great cut, a great time for Nate Hodges. By Alex Storm, 56 seconds-ish, sub 1 minute. There is 56.44 for Alex Storm. That's going to put him near the top of the heat, given some of the errors we've seen from earlier heats.
Oh, yeah.
Both cuts are good.
Let's have a look at Nate Hodges here as he goes to work on these springboard pockets. You are building your own scaffolding system, and you better build it strong. He elects to go for 6 hits in the pocket at the top of the pole. So we're going to spend most of your time, and that's where you need to be absolutely confident. If you are not confident in that board, you wind up choked into the pole with your toe up near the shoe of that springboard, you are not getting full power. Boy, that was dangerously close to being dogleg, where his hits on the backside are coming in below the bottom of the front side. Almost perfect alignment, though, as he drives through.
Well, Nate Hodges' official time of 43.14 puts him in second place. Matt Slingerland holding on to that lead with the 41.51. An excellent time he laid down there. And it is held up through 3 of our 4 heats, but the 4th heat is upcoming. Alex Storm time 56.44.
I was about to say he's got to be feeling good, but I'm sure he's feeling some pain with some sutures in his knee. But he's got to be loving that points position.
Hats redeemable back there at the steel trailer. So scan along, play along. Here we go, Dave. We'll see if you can get this one right.
I got it.
All right, Nate Hodges has learned how to operate which mode of transportation. airplane, sailboat, helicopter, or hot air balloon?
We talk about it all the time.
And the crowd's kind of all over the place there. They're all over the place. And we'll say 40.6% is correct. It is airplane. Airplane. Have you seen his plane?
Not only learned, he bought his own plane.
Yeah.
He bought his own plane. Got his instrumentation approval, so he can fly in any weather right now. I ran into him in produce in the grocery store up in Hayward the other day. He goes, "Yeah, I'm taking the plane up tomorrow. Going to zip down to Milwaukee." I'm like, "Wait a minute, what?" But again, it's the confidence. You think he's worried about being 8 feet off the ground in a springboard? He came here at 2,000 feet.
Yeah, it's absolutely incredible. It's cool. He goes out, flies into an airstrip at a local show, just jumps out, has somebody caddies the equipment over. Heck of a mode of transportation. Pretty sweet. Pretty sweet. But yeah, if you got that question right, you can head back to the STIHL trailer. Get yourself one of those awesome STIHL 100 Years hats commemorating 100 years of STIHL equipment.
One heat remaining. There was so much chatter today. We're like, who are you going to pick? Who are you going to pick? And it's looking like it could be Hodges 3 years in a row. It's just setting up to, it feels like that. Doesn't it feel like he could go 3 in a row?
It feels like
he's really not made a mistake today, really.
It feels good for Hodges. To me right now, it's feeling better for Matty Slingerland. I'm telling you.
To take the title.
To take the title. He's now dialed in. I'm liking what we're seeing. This is going to be fun. Our final heat of the springboard coming out next. On position 1 from Diana, West Virginia. Let's hear it for Jason Lentz. On position 2 from Grafton, West Virginia, Matt Koger.
Heat number 4, same as the last discipline, is going to be Jason Lentz going up against Matt Koger. Had actually an opportunity to stop and talk to Matt Koger. What's on his mind? What's he concentrating on?
It's really hard to remember last year. Sometimes it's just such a blur, but, like last year it felt pretty good. I won the underhand, won the stock saw, won the standing block, but then things in the single and the springboard kind of put me about mid-pack and lost a lot of points there and went to the hot saw in 4th and still ended up finished up 4th.
All right, as he faces the possibility of a staggering 8th national championship, you wonder what's going through his mind. They're probably trying to clear his thoughts. Worried about getting first order of business, get the better of this young man right here, Jason Lentz. Certainly been one of his major nemesis competitors through the years.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
Well, if we can carry the performance in the standing block over to springboard, I'm going to say it's advantage Koger. He was just smoother, cleaner, more efficient in the standing block. At the same time, Jason Lentz has had the opportunity to reflect on that a little bit, learn from those crazy hits he put in the standing block. He's having a little bit of trouble with that second board set, and Matt Koger is not waiting around. He is right on the heels of Nate Hodges' pace in this springboard event. Jason Lentz now at the top of the block, and it's just so powerful in that block at the top. It doesn't look like his block is in the right orientation, but it doesn't matter at this point. Matt Koger into the back as Jason Lentz is just pistoning hits into the top log. There it is. Matt Koger, a 43.17. Boy, he is right there with Slingerland and Hodges. I can't wait to see how the official times sort out. .43.17 showing as the unofficial time. We'll go to video review to refine that. .42.83 for Koger.
Shrunk a little.
Both cuts are good.
Matt Koger just nested himself into second place in the springboard event. That is a huge advantage in terms of those overall points, and he boarded very nicely. He does elect to go for 6 hits. He has to go back, actually goes back for a little bit more. You can see that little cliff, that little wall of wood that formed in the top side of the pocket. If he had set his board in there, likely that would have ripped out with the shoe of that springboard pole, and he would have come crashing back to the ground. The veteran wisely elects to pop an extra hit in there and get that little chip out. He gets well into the front side of this log, drops a couple driving hits, and you can see he's all the way to the handle of that axe, goes into the backside and starts drawing chips. This is where you can see the difference between he and Matty Slingerland, where Matty Slingerland had that wide open back face, cut it like he would a standing block. Matt Koger has a much smaller face that he's working on and drives through at the end.
Again, Matt Koger's official time at 42.83, good enough for second place. Matt Slingerland is going to take the win there with the 41.51 he cut in the first heat. Nate Hodges in third place with a 43.14. And now let's take a look at our overall points as it stands right now before we head into the final stage. And there it is, Matt Koger with 55 points. Nate Hodges not that far behind with a 52. Jason Lynn's still there, still in there, and Matt Slingerland, a possibility as well. We have Alex Storm, Mark Boquinn also make it into our top 6 who will cut the hot saw in the final stage of competition at the U.S. Men's National Championship.
Some days, everything goes your way. This is not one of those days. Good thing the Gator XUV can navigate rugged terrain and haul whatever the day demands.
You pull me out!
Because when work happens, you've got a Gator for that. The Gator XUV, built for every kind of workday.
The power's out!
Learn more at an authorized John Deere dealer.
Conserving moments like this. The Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation is building a strong future for all big game. 1 square mile a day. That's our mission. More access, healthier habitats. Your support will help shape what's next.
When you spend 100 years building chainsaws, you get really good at building chainsaws. So when STIHL built the mower, we built the chainsaw mowers. New blade, same bloodline.
Welcome back to Milwaukee. Great decade we've spent pretty much most of the years of the past decade with this event here, the U.S. Men's National Championship. This is the 2026 edition. And we've got the field up from 12 to 16 this year. We started with 16 qualifiers for the finals. Finals taking place today. And we have made it to the final stage of our competition. We are ready to go with the hot saw.
Hot saw. For the hot saw, power saws are called into action, and the athletes have a space of 15 centimeters to cut 3 complete discs off a 46 centimeter thick wooden block. Jumping the start or cutting over the line will result in a disqualification.
All right, we're getting these saws warmed up. We're going to have some fan cam interaction out there, so scan the QR code. Show them you're out here, Milwaukee. Show them you're watching at home. Scan it. Let's see. See all the fans out there. Oh, there's some beards. There's a beard of the day contestant right there. I like that. Oh, there's one of those commemorative cookies out there memorializing your time here at the 2026 National Championships. There we go, some fans at home. Yeah, there's Stephanie watching at home. I love those little foam axes, man. Love that. And I could hear him screaming with those axes, chop that wood, chop that wood. Oh, we got Browsey there? Browsey there? Oh, there's Hunter and Marissa again watching at home in Connecticut. There's another solid beard out there. Oh, there's some Steins. There we go. That's what we want to see. We're almost to that finish line too, Dave. And there's one of those awesome Steel 100 hats. Oh, there we go, Dave. There. We finally made it on today. Oh, man. What a fantastic weekend it's been here at German Fest.
It's been great.
My highest finish ever.
Other than a little humidity today, Dave, I'll take this weekend any day of the year. This has been awesome. The athletes
to not make it through to the second round.
starting with the Hot Saw Friday. And again, if you missed the Hot Saw Friday, buckle up. You're going to see an abbreviated version right now, but you're going to see the best. I don't know if this first guy, have we seen him in the final six before? This gentleman in the first heat.
Absolutely, it is. And he cut 7th last weekend in the World Championships. He is dialed in his first time making the Hot Saw final here in Milwaukee from Springville, New York. Let's hear it for Mark Boquin.
Well, there he is, Mark Boquin, the 6th place finisher. As we finished 5 disciplines here, that means he's in. He is in on this Hot Saw competition. Got 6 points in the underhand chop. Kind of fell off the pace a little bit in the stock saw and the standing block, but came back strong in the single buck. Set a national record.
And then he didn't fall off the pace in the springboard. He fell off the
springboard. Yeah, man,
warm up
tough
your
guy.
saw.
Fall from 7 feet onto your back with a racing saw in your hand. He's back, ready to go.
If you've been with the sport for us for the past several years, you've been part of this new format, you know instead of 2 operators, 2 sticks of wood, it is 1 at a time versus the stopwatch. This is an attempt to keep the wood as consistent as possible. Triple points.
30 seconds. Athlete ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
Boquin up into the wood. Good clean start. Pretty consistent discs. It looked like he had enough real estate to work with. 6.61, showing his unofficial time. Head judges, Chris Alba. Doesn't seem like anybody's too upset out there, Tommy.
No, I think it's looking good.
Your cut was good.
Mark Beauquin, a 6.36. Obviously heat number 1, but he's leading the event so far with a new personal best. If you are going to pull out a PB, now is the time to do it. You are your first year in our final 6, first year in this position. That's about as much as you could hope for. Good, clean, consistent run from Mark Beauquin.
So important to have 3 complete discs and just get a time here in the hot saw. It is so volatile, so fraught with potential mistakes and mishaps.
This is also the first time that our other athletes get a little bit of a taste of how the timber looks tonight. They know Mark Beauquin. They know what he can run.
Is this an encouraging look?
I would think so. To have him come out and run. I mean, obviously we know that he did it well. He was quick to the wood. He got through the timber quickly, but it's also a sign that the wood is not obnoxiously firm.
Yep.
As an operator, if I was backstage, I watched that cut, and if I'd seen that as like a 7.2, I would know that was a good cut, good operator. The wood's a little firm. I might be questioning my chain choices. I might be thinking about the pressure I'm going to apply to the saw.
Sunday here at German Fest, celebrating 100 years of steel equipment this year in the BMO Pavilion. All right, heat number 2 coming to the stage right now from Newville, Pennsylvania. Let's hear it for Alex Storm.
Alex Storm having a great championship here. Doing a lot of his work in the first 3 events, the first stage of competition with a 4th place. 4th place in the underhand chop, 5th place in the standing block chop. Held his own in the stock saw. That kind of gave him that push, that little bit of advantage heading into the 2nd stage of competition, and had good, solid middle of the pack runs at both the events there, springboard and single buck.
Warm up
he's
your
ready
saw.
to do big things with the hot saw here. Points are tripled. We remind you of that. So he can make a big leap, and he's got a lot of points to make up, frankly.
Well, he's done a lot of good, though, just to get to this point.
Oh, yeah.
I misrepresented the machine that he's running. I thought that was a former Jason Lentz saw. It's actually a former Grant Foreman saw. And Alex corrected me on that the other night, and he goes, you know what? If you're going to buy a used hot saw, buy one from an engineer.
Yeah.
Because you know it is going to be tuned and dialed and maintained and obsessed over. And it did a lot of good for him in the Hot Saw Showdown on Friday. It's one more chance to stretch its legs here on the stage at the BMO Pavilion.
Old Dennis Cahoon saw, right?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah. 330.
Athlete ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Ooh, very tight on the go for Alex Storm. Very fast through the wood. But a little hesitation on that third cut. I think he may have erased the line or close to erasing the line.
Well, that's a big disc, that third one, yeah.
There we go. There's the flag. Boy, he was so fast through the wood on his first cut. I think it caught himself off guard. The saw traveled way out the bottom. It took him a minute to get gathered up, get that second cut in, and then you saw how slow that third cut was. I think he was hesitating, hoping to steer, hoping for some divine hot saw intervention. Boy, that's a big slab of wood on the stage, though. I think he's kind of waiting, hoping Rich will just forget about this whole thing.
Not much of a chance of that.
Unfortunately, your cut was bad. Cut the line. DQ.
I don't know if he even cut the line. He may have jumped completely over the line.
Yeah.
Either way, he cut outside.
He stayed on the same log.
Yeah, he did stay on the same log. As we go back and watch this run here, first cut, thin, fast, up, in, and then I don't know what happened. He sort of floated and hesitated a little bit. The judges got some audible feedback from the crowd on that call, but there's no sympathy in this one. That was a very egregious penalty.
Yeah, that was black and white for sure.
Here's a good look from a little bit of a wider angle. That first cut, he almost came down to the stage. The saw went through so fast. And then I don't know if he lifted or bobbled, but you can see kind of a gyroscope effect with that hot saw. And he was ready to go for it. I saw him get up on his tippy toes like he was just going to shove that saw down through the wood. All he can do is smile and shake his head. That was a big miss on cut number 3 for Alex Storm.
So a DQ and incremental help for Mark Beauquin, our leader right now, and of course the only athlete who has posted a time so far. Of course, incremental help in a way for all the rest of our competitors. So the points leader in the hot saw is Mark Beauquin. And Matt Koger hanging in there. Nate Hodges as well. And Beauquin's effort puts him in third for now, but we still have 4 more cuts to make.
Well, Tommy, I've been just scratching my head and turning in circles over here on these top 4, Koger, Hodges, Lentz, and Slingerland. And it obviously Slingerland with the biggest deficit to overcome.
Right.
But triple points, everybody's in the conversation right now.
True.
But we had the benefit of the Hot Sauce Showdown on Friday and the benefit of the Hot Sauce Showdown back in Virginia Beach. Slingerland was so strong in both those events. Hodges was strong until he wasn't.
Yep.
Matt Koger has had, he had starting issues, just kind of a half pull on the saw here on Friday. My head's spinning as we go to these last 4.
And here we go, our next heat. From Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, the comeback kid. Here's Matty Slingerland.
Matt Slingerland's turn at the hot saw. He's had a day already. I mean, he has had a day already. Big scare. Nicked himself pretty good with the single buck saw. They had to sort of just put him back together as best they could with the materials at hand. He's a gamer, though. He came back, did well in the springboard chop to put himself in position to keep himself part of the conversation. He's certainly where he is right now, and you talked about the advantage he has, the confidence he should have based on his performance as he won the hot saw showdown the other night.
For many years, we've seen the hot saw just hold Matty Slingerland back. I was even talking with his mom, Barb, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, Kevin, hot saw in the early days was just catastrophic," and we saw it keep him off the podium or hold him back from that top spot on the podium. That win in Virginia Beach in the Hot Sauce Showdown and just the tear he's been on with this machine. 5 or 6 years ago, I would have had a much different outlook at this moment coming up. I'm feeling much better for Maddie Slingerland.
Athlete ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Always fast to the wood, very thick disc. He's got to pull back a little bit. Wow, did he have to get conservative on that third disc. 5.54. We've seen guys consistently under 5 in the Hot Sauce Showdown. That little hesitation, he was a little heavy on those first 2 discs. He had to be a little conservative. Chris Alba is asking for the saw to be moved away so he can look at the bottom side of that log. I think the bottom side will be okay. It was more a question of the thin third disc and if it was going to be a complete disc. Maddie, 5.30 now showing. I feel like good. I feel like we're going to see times sub 5, and I think that's where he needed to be. Here it is, Maddie Slinger. You can see his red mark where he wanted to be. He was slightly inboard of that. This next cut wasn't too bad, but you see that little hesitation, and man, was that cut thin at the top.
Maddie, what a day, buddy. Up and down, and then you come out and just absolutely smash that springboard. Come out, lay down a good cut. A little bit of a hesitation there going into the third. What happened, man?
Yeah, if I can talk over these guys, but yeah, I just got a little bit thick there on the first 2 cuts, and I knew I needed to make a clean run just to be in it, so put some pressure on these boys. Yeah, I had to steer it to get it in, and got lucky to do that. So it's just one of those things that happens when you're racing. It's fast out there. You got to react fast, and that's all I could do.
I know it takes a village, buddy. It takes a village to be at these events, to be competitive year in and year out. Who do you want to thank, man?
Cassandra, I love you so much. Sitting in the front. You're amazing. She lets me train. She gets me anything I need all the time. She's just absolutely amazing. I got Adam Lethko in the back. He came all the way from Tennessee to help me out. Knows how to keep me calm, keep me in the race. So thanks, Adam, back there. There's a million people to thank. But Jerry, Melvin for the saw, hot saw, and JP for that awesome single buck saw. Really kept me in the race today. So if I'm forgetting somebody, you know who you are. I appreciate you.
All right, let's hear it for Maddie Slingerland, your current leader here.
All right, there's the score so far in the hot saw. We're halfway through our competition here, and Matt Slingerland is currently holding on to the maximum points he can get for a win if that prevails, if that stands at the end of the day. He would have 61 points, but yet to cut. Matt Koger, Nate Hodges, Jason Lentz. Got a lot of different scenarios that can work their way through these last 3 competitors.
In Virginia Beach this spring, he took silver medal in the Hot Sauce Showdown Friday night to Josh Wilson, and just waiting for the opportunity to unleash one of those hand file chains at the right time, the right moment. This could be it.
All right, here we go. Heat 4 of the hot saw. Let's hear it from Diana, West Virginia for Jason Lentz.
All right, Jason Lentz made it through the competition. Probably hasn't performed up to his standards, but his standards even diminished are well above the rest of the world, and he is certainly part of the conversation as it stands right now. Got 2 second places.
Well, Tommy, we watched him run in the hot sauce shootout. We did not see him get below 5 seconds on Friday evening. And in my opinion, he was slow through the wood. The mechanics were right. Everything seemed to be going well, but he was slow through the wood. I'm anticipating he's made some changes in the chain department, and we'll see a faster time from Jason Lentz here.
Okay.
5.3 from Maddie Slingerland is good.
30 seconds. Athlete ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
Very quick to the wood, very quick through the wood. Things are looking good for Jason Lentz. Showing a 5-second flat, but I saw that last disc roll away, and it was not complete.
Oh, boy.
Jason Lentz is showing parts and pieces. He's hoping to invoke the legendary Humpty Dumpty clause, where if we can put all of the pieces together. They will also do a video review of this to see if they can determine that the chain did pass through the entire wood, or the entire slice of wood. I can't wait to see this. Bring it. Here's Jason Lentz. Boy, he had so much wood to work with. I don't understand where things. Oh, he's just a bad. Oh,
yeah, that's
incomplete disc.
This is unbelievable for Jason Lentz. It was looking so good. He was geared up, had plenty of timber to work with, was just a little bit crooked. Here's a great angle for it. Beautiful, beautiful. Set up great. Now he's just off, and you can see he's trying to steer it back in. And that's like just asking so much out of these saws. He blew out of the bottom of that log. It was clear as day. There was no arguing that one. No putting those pieces back together.
Yeah.
Now you can see just as he enters that wood, you see the top of that saw shift over to the right, which means that bar is now pointed out towards the outside end. What a tough break for Jason Lentz. Everything looked like it was coming together for him.
Well, there we go. Jason Lentz, 2 DQs out of 4 heats run so far. And that's not a surprise, actually. And that's a shame. Matt Slingerland still holding on to the top spot, but still yet to cut. Matt Koger and Nate Hodges. But the DQ to time posted ratio's not good here.
No, and Tommy, my tummy hurts a little bit because I'm thinking back to what we've seen earlier this weekend in the Hot Sauce Showdown. Nate Hodges, much like he did in Virginia Beach, had a chain just absolutely fly off the saw. This saw was supposed to be smoother, cleaner, and more likely to retain chains. We also saw Matt Koger do kind of a quick half pull, trying to get the saw to the wood that much faster. The saw did not fire. He had to fumble around, rewind his starter cord. That just eroded a tremendous amount of time. Matt Koger was sitting in a great points position coming into this, as was Nate Hodges, but there is just all sorts of chaos that could happen in the next maybe 10 seconds of chainsaw operation.
With the crank, the bearings, all that crap I don't know about, it all gets amplified. So let's bring them out. From North Fork, California, your world record holder looking for title number 3, Nate Hodges.
Nate Hodges is next up. He is trying for 3 consecutive championships here in Milwaukee, and he comes to Milwaukee with a new saw. What does that mean?
Yeah, so
I've got a new hot saw. it's not any faster than the world record saw, but it's a little more forgiving, a little bit easier to operate, and about 10, 11 pounds lighter. So, yeah, so hopefully we can get on that hot saw stage and rip off a cut here for the
Up your
final.
saw. Seconds.
All pressure on Nate Hodges now. He's the only man on the stage. It's man and his machine versus the stopwatch. That did not go well on Friday. Late in the day, he battled his way through the brackets and then grenaded a chain, did damage to the saw. Lucky he didn't do damage to himself. Got it patched back up. Came out for the small finals. And he's got to carry all that now as he goes for his third
athlete ready
U.S. title.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
Lighter saw, larger displacement. He's got 2 on the deck. There comes number 3. Boy, they look clean. They look consistent. 5-1-8. It may not take a 4 and change to win here today. This timber might be a little bit firm. Hodges is all smiles. Chris Alba says, get that weapon out of my way so I can get down here and look at the bottom of the log. Matty Slingerland has already stood up, vacated the hot seat. I think he knows what we know.
Your cut was good.
So we're going to get a quick interview with Hodges.
Yeah, 4.98 seconds for Nate Hodges officially.
Wow.
And Nate's just having a conversation with his good friend Matty Slingerland, and what a great moment, the camaraderie. And we're going to talk with Hodges, but we'll let these guys. It's been a journey. It's just been a crazy journey. We're going to, hey, Nate. There's a million things. Actually, what you're taking off right now, let's start with that. What is the purpose of this?
Check, check. Yep, okay. We good now? Anyways, yeah, that belt that Dave was talking about there, it's not because the saw's heavy. If we forget to put that belt on, that carburetor will literally suck our shirts in and kill the saw. So that's why you see us all wearing those. Pretty wild amount of velocity happening with these saws. It's crazy.
How difficult is it after what happened Friday? You skipped off, the chain exploded, damaged your saw. Thank goodness you were okay. How easy or difficult is it to hit that reset button, forget about that, have the confidence to go out with a saw that really, you're a strong guy. It's more powerful than you, I hate to tell you. What's going through your mind out there on go?
Well, Dave, anybody that knows me knows the experience I've gone through with these high-power hot saws. I do that all the time at home. I got a bunch of blooper videos of that stuff happening. So, it's not a new thing. That was pretty wild Friday night. I was more bummed about just it happening than dealing with the situation. So that's about it on that.
Talk about your conversation with Matty Sling.
Oh, that's a private conversation. Yep. I can't repeat what was said there.
No problem. Repeating, though, a seat in the hot chair. You got to go do that, buddy, one more time.
Yeah, thanks, Dave.
Great job, Nate. Big round of applause for Nate Hodges.
The view from the hot seat for Matt Slingerland as he watches the opportunity for gold to slip away. 3 clean cuts for Hodges. I mentioned we may not see a sub 5-second time. We just barely saw a sub 5-second time from Nate Hodges as he gets just under the 5-second mark with his run. clean, consistent discs, a little bit of real estate left over, a little bit of forgiveness. Saw stayed together. He is just super excited that that thing just stayed together.
Final competitor of the day in this battle that started with 16 athletes. We narrowed it down to 8, down to 6. This gentleman has 7 national titles, looking for 8 from Grafton, West Virginia. Big round of applause for Matt Koger.
There he is, looking for 8 championships. He can get it done with one run of the hot saw here, Matt Koger, but he's got Nate Hodges standing there, 4.98, holding on to top points. 18 of them, that's what you get for a first-place finish in the hot saw here.
Warm up your saw.
This is what we had on Friday.
Yeah.
There it goes. But, boy, in competition on Friday, the Hot Saw Showdown, that saw did not go. We kind of blamed Matt. We thought it was a little bit of a short pull, like he wasn't swinging for the rafters. He's got to pull. He's got to be down in the low 5s in order to get enough STIHL Timbersports points to take out Hodges. He had an advantage in terms of points over Hodges coming into this hot saw.
Yeah, his order of business should at least be to overtake the time Matt Slingerland has already set down there. And then we'll see.
Athlete ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
Big pull, saw fires. Here we go, Matt Koger. 3 clean disc. It's showing a 5.42, but that time will likely come down when we go to the official review. That may put him in ahead of Matty Slingerland. Boy, it doesn't get any tighter.
Oh, man. What an ending.
Thumbs up from Chris Alba. $5.19.
Uh-oh.
Now showing for Matt Koger.
Oh, boy.
Your cut was good.
That ought to be enough. We got to warm up the abacus.
How about that?
Again, Tommy.
Oh,
again.
My goodness. This never used to happen.
No. It's like they're trying to kill us slowly, Tommy. So, folks, we have a points tie. And once again, you're seeing a champion out of a points tie based on total elapsed time for all of the disciplines.
All events. And the difference was 6 seconds.
Restrained emotion all day. Restrained emotion. It started with the underhand chop. You won it. You won 2 out of the 3 events out of the gates. You knew enough not to feel comfortable. Again, rewinding to last year, you won the first 3. Did not podium.
Dude,
it took you a while to get your 7th.
Yep.
It took you a few years. Unofficially, you haven't got the trophy yet. No. You got an 8th coming to you, buddy. Talk about it and that embrace with Hodges.
No, I guess you got to get comfortable with the uncomfortable and really just try to be in the moment. And I knew it was going to be tight going into the final part, and then I had to put that 3 cuts together, and here we are.
Buddy, I grew up tangling in timber sports with your dad. I believe you're 3rd generation lumberjack. Correct me if I'm wrong. You were the hardest hitting competitor in the country at 16 years old. Then you had to learn the hot saw. What is this journey? What's this journey been like?
It's a lifetime journey, man. Like I'm going to probably learn something until I retire. Like it's an amazing sport to be in, and I guess today, like I learned a few things, and I was like really happy with kind of how it went, and it was just enough to sneak in, and I definitely got to thank Dad for taking me to the chip yard.
I talked to your wife Emma this spring. I said, "What makes Matt such a lethal competitor?" She said, "He's okay if he doesn't win, buddy. It's going to be okay because you just did."
Yeah.
And we're going to give you a trophy.
I like to thank my family for sure, for supporting me, and thank Leather Stocking Billets for helping me along the way and getting me right there, and shout out to Clint Davis for doing up a really fast chain. It was really ripped in that log and was what I needed. Man, okay, well, all right, let's go.
Thanks for entertaining us today. Need you to go backstage. Most likely, we're going to bring you out in a few minutes. Congratulations, Matt Coger from Grafton, West Virginia.
Well, let's go back and have a look at some of Matt Coger's efforts here. His final effort in this hot saw over the shoulder of Nate Hodges. He just did it right. 3 clean discs, the head shake from Nate Hodges. After all the trouble we've seen from Matt Coger with the hot saw Friday along the way, to have it finally come together and just go into automatic mode. When he walked to the side of the stage, I could just see it in his face. Every last bit of energy is drained out of that man, and just the emotional release to have the day done.
Another look at it. Right here is interesting watching the look with Nate Hodges in the foreground. Well, let's take it to the podium.
Give it to Matt Coger.
All right, here we go. Here's our award ceremony. In third place this year, let's hear it from Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, Maddie Slingerland. In second place, earning the silver medal from North Fork, California, let's hear it for Nate Hodges. And now, your 8-time U.S. National Steel Timber Sports Series champion. Let's hear it from Grafton, West Virginia, Matt Coger. There's the medal. There is your Centennial Edition 500i. He's also taking home $20,000
and a John Deere Gator.
John Deere Gator. Let's bring the rest of these athletes out here. What a day it has been, Super Dave.
What a weekend. What a weekend it's been.
Tie after tie this weekend. So competitive.
And different winners. No repeats, different winners.
I know a huge thank you once again to the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation, John Deere, and STIHL, our title sponsor here today.
What a performance. 8 championships, and Matt Coger, when he first came out, he was the young phenomenon, the hard-hitting, super fast. He had tough competition when he was racking up the first of those 7 victories. I think the era now that he's done this in, I think has been his most challenging era with the Nate Hodges and Jason Lintz in there. I may be not remembering history right, but man.
No, I couldn't agree more. This 8th championship has got to be one of the sweetest. There's been a bit of a gap along the way. The first few came in quick succession. Number 7, it took a little bit longer. Number 8 is just got to be the best.
Oh, okay.
One of the hardest fought battles, a tie in points, 70 points apiece, and just around 4 seconds of total elapsed time over 6 disciplines just unfathomable, the level of talent on that stage.
It has been quite a year. We have seen now, this is our third episode of a tie settled by overall time. We've hardly ever experienced that before. It's happened 3 times during the course of this season. It happened last night, for goodness sakes. I mean, that's what you want. That's absolutely what you want. And now we got an 8-time winner of the national championship.
Eight titles under the belt for Matt Koger. Matty Slayland on that podium again, along with our 2-time champion Nate Hodges. An amazing day of action at a beautiful venue here at the BMO Pavilion as part of German Fest in Milwaukee.
Well, the hot sauce kind of been the focal point from Friday through the last day here. Hot saw, of course, was the main thing, and of course it was the decider, as it has been in recent years with the format we do now. Certainly has been the decider, and boy, took some effort to step up to what was facing Matt Koger, the time he had to beat. The toughness of the 2 guys standing next to him there on the podium. Oh my goodness. Been some thrills and spills. It has been a day. The 2026 STIHL Timbersports National Championships. We're so glad that we can share this with you, bring this to you all over the world. We look forward to the next go-around, and we will see you in 2027. Matt Koger be going for number 9.